Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special episode of WrestleCast. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Adam Vale. How's it going, Adam?
It's crazy, man. Get ready. 15 hours of wrestling talk. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Man on man action. We can't say man on woman because they don't do that shit yet. But when they do, it's going to get crazy. Only Lucha Underground went that nuts. But
no.
ECW too. ECW.
Yeah, for a while. You remember Francine? She gave us a little something extra and won the match. I remember that shit. Yes. All right. Yep, but I'm hyped. This is good. We have a lot of shit to talk about. A lot happened this week with this. A lot happened.
Absolutely. We're also joined by Miss Dana Abercrombie. How's it going, Dana?
Hello. That's it. Hello.
Yes. We're also joined by Mr. Michael. How's it going, Michael?
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me again here, guys.
Yeah, yes. Mike and Dan from the Platform Podcast.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Wait, Dan got to give us his entrance.
Yes. And we are also joined by a very special guest. Please let everybody know who you are, sir.
I am Dan Heyman, and I am the advocate for the reigning, the defending, the most triggered man on the internet, Dan the Man. Yes. Hold on, I got you right here.
Oh, here we go.
Let's go.
Yes, and we will also add that you're also an advocate for Tyler the Creator based on that picture that I see.
I like this GIF because it says the fuck. But I like some music that he's done, but it's more about that the fuck.
So, I got you.
Yes.
Well, yes. Glad to have you on, and glad to have you back as well, Mike. So we, as Adam already said at the beginning of the show, there was a lot of news this week. A very, very busy week in wrestling. So, Dana, I'm going to pass the mic over to you because I believe there's a couple of topics that you wrote down for us to discuss.
I need the introduction that Adam used to do.
Oh, here we go.
Bring it back.
Boop, boop. Oh my God, I got gas.
All right. Basically, what we have is a very salty CM Punk. He has decided that he is going to file a counter lawsuit against his former close friend and wrestler, Colt Cabana. He filed it on June 18th, and he wants to recoup $600,000 in legal fees. Now, this is according to PW Insider. Basically, we're going back to the case. We all know Punk and Cabana were co-defendants in the case that saw WWE physician Chris Amon sue them for defamation after Punk appeared on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast all the way back in 2014. And that was when we got the whole staph infection, the Z-Pack, everything else. Now, even though Punk and Cabana won the case, because remember, the whole thing was that Chris Amon never technically lost any clients or any patients behind this.
He didn't even lose his job. I remember the judge was like, do you still have your job? It's like, oh, yeah. Oh, my God. What's you bitching about? Get off the fucking stage. Oh, and that was it. Case closed.
Right. So even though they won, Cabana filed a lawsuit against Punk in May. They claim that he and Punk had a verbal agreement for Punk to pay Cabana's legal fees, which led to the whole countersuit. Now, Cabana at the time was seeking $200,000 in legal fees and in other damages. Remember, he lost a lot of work and other issues. But Punk is now alleging that Cabana refused to contribute monies to the Lobos firm defense for both parties. So basically he's saying, I paid everything and I'm going to sue you for my money that I don't have.
We know for a fact he didn't pay everything because even Colt said it. That was a family friend that was his attorney. So, and he had to get his own attorney because we remember when we followed the case, CM Punk had his own attorney, Colt had his own attorney. They weren't even communicating together. So it's all bullshit. That's bullshit.
Right. So Punk then was like, you know what? The whole lawsuit and the situation that they had to go through cost $1.2 million in attorney fees and other expenses. Right. A lot of money. And so Cabana said that, they had this verbal contract that, would have basically absolved Cabana for paying any legal fees, because technically it's not his fault. He just had a podcast and Punk was the one who was defaming WWE, the doctor, everyone, Z-Packs, staff infection.
Hell, he got the doctor wrong. Remember when we saw him on the stand? It was like, "Are you sure it's the doctor?" And he started crying. I don't know. One of them told me somebody gave me some drugs. I don't know. Leave me alone. I took brain damage. My head hurt.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah, and then remember also during that whole time he was saying, "Well, I may have exaggerated how bad it was overall," and so that didn't help. But they still won anyway. So what happened was the Loeb firm dropped Cabana as a client during the whole preparations for the Amon case, which meant that Cabana had to basically defend himself. And also what they were saying is that when the whole lawsuit was filed, that his lawyers asked Cabana to take down the podcast, which he said he would have done and basically would have settled everything. But Punk was like, no, keep it up. We're going to go to court. Which is what happened with the whole lawyer fees and the whole legal situation that was like, what, a year and a half, basically?
Yeah, it was long. It was
long.
That's what she said. It's just, oh man, it's a mess. The whole thing's a mess. Oh, there we go. I felt so bad because we know Colt. Colt's an indie guy. He's not making the big bucks. He doesn't have 11 million stashed in a bank like CM Punk brags about. So it's like all Colt wanted was like, and he said it on his own show when everything was said and done, and he was free to talk about it. He's like, you know what? I just want the reimbursement to pay my friend that helped me, the lawyer. That's it. Just give him the money, and then we'll walk away. And CM Punk said, "No, I'm not giving you shit." And that's when he sued Punk, and then now we got sued. Punk countersuing for no damn reason.
Right.
He's a loser. I'm glad I'm not his friend.
But look, CM Punk is a known asshole, though. Like it's not, it's definitely not a hidden thing. Like the way he treats fans too. Like,
do you know the Greg Miller story?
No, but when I was looking up shit about CM Punk, I saw the headline, but I didn't go to it.
Real quick. I'll just tell real quick. It is real quick. They had met when Greg Miller worked at IGN, and WWE did the cross promotion one time. Anyway, time goes by, maybe like a year or so. He said it wasn't too long. So it was at an E3 or one of those type of events. Now it was only for the press and talent, so there was just that's all that was walking the floor. So Greg Miller talked about how he was walking by, and he knows a lot of the wrestlers. He always has a lot of Xavier Woods stuff on the show. So he sees CM Punk walking. He's like, "Oh shit, there's Punk. I know him," and they hung out before. So he pats him on the shoulder and he says, "Hey man," and he said, "Punk turned around and said, 'What the fuck's your problem? Who do you think you are, just coming up to me like this?'" And he's, "Whoa, it's me, Greg." Like, "I don't know who the hell you." He just goes off on him. And he's like, "I'm sorry," and he just backed off, and he just couldn't believe that. And he was like, "I couldn't understand if it was open to the public, and you got people and stuff.
Right? People.
It's not. This is press. This is closed right now for press and talent. Obviously, I have my badge on, so if anything, turn around and just look at the badge if you don't know who I am, and just be like, oh, he works here." He could not believe that shit, and he's like, "Well, I guess he really is a prick." So,
yeah. And it's fucking sad because it's like, dude,
I believe it.
You can get ahead so much further by not being an asshole. So
I believe
that's why I can see that. That's why I believe that he said that. I believe he forced that dude to go ahead with that fucking lawsuit, and he said that shit, and then now we got to pay up, and that's what it is. And now he's kind of countersue because he's a big name and he thinks that he can kind of bully his way out, but you can't live your life like that.
Yeah, and he knows Colt don't have that type of money to give up.
Right.
So what's the point? fucking douche. That's why it's not this pay-per-view, but the next one that AEW is doing, the one in Chicago. It's like, I really hope they don't bring Punk. We don't need that shit. I don't want to see him. I'm done. If you're gonna bring anybody from Chicago, bring Colt Cabana, put him there. Hometown boy, everybody knows him. They'll be cool with just seeing him. No more of this Punk. Because the way I feel, honestly, when I hear Punk chants at WWE events, those are fans just trolling WWE. That's it. They don't really want to do it.
True.
They just troll, and they know it gets under their skin. So they're like, "Oh, we're gonna chant Punk all day long," And when you got Shane McMahon running around, "I'm the best in the world," so you're asking for it. Don't do that shit. You're purposely asking for it.
That shit is cringy as fuck when he does that too.
Yeah. Oh man.
He has the announcer fucking announce me as best in the world. It's
shit, man. He's worse than Joffrey from Game of Thrones. It's that type of shit. It's like the King's Kid. The King's Kid. Again, think if you worked there. Think if we were all wrestlers out there. We're working hard in the indies. Like, yo, you getting paid now? I think so. I got on the main roster. I'm gonna have a match this week. I'm hype. And they were like, all right, what's the next one? Oh, the boss's kid. He's got like this big story going on. What?
Right.
That's it. He's gonna do it. He's like, I've been working my ass off. I'm cool with Roman. We worked some ideas in the back. The boss's kid is coming up. Did you not hear me? It's all about him. He's the big heel. It's like, shit, really? And that's how it is.
He beat the Miz and fucking Roman Reigns.
He shouldn't be beating anybody. He should be in the back. And I know before he was like, oh yeah, well, people want to see me in the nostalgia. And remember when he first came back, everybody's cheering him and crying. But it's because they want to see him take bumps. That's what he was known for. The Kurt Angle situation. Remember taking bumps? He wasn't known for being a good wrestler. We don't want to see you in all these matches. You're not the best of the world. You're not winning tournaments. No.
Right.
But I don't get it. I guess this is what Vince wants to do. And that's just a smack in the face of the talent in the back that actually work their asses off to do this.
It's what's best for business.
Oh God. Don't say that ever again.
There you go. But, shit. Well, damn, man. I wish one day. Well, no. All right, what was that, Rich?
Well, hold on a second. Since you brought it up, I just have to say this. When you say that it is a slap in the face to the talent in the back, I agree 100%. But I have to say, I was especially disappointed to see what happened at this past pay-per-view where you had Drew McIntyre take the loss. But yet Shane can beat Roman Reigns. So that was not good at all.
That was terrible.
I don't get it.
What are you talking about? That match... That whole pay-per-view was a 10 out of 10. You know it.
10 out of 10.
You and I were going to talk about it was going to be pay-per-view.
It's fucking disgusting.
No, man.
Hey.
What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
that's what we were talking about last week. Me and Rich both were like, it's gonna be a 10 out of 10. This pay per view is gonna be.
Can you ban in Hangouts?
I'm just gonna start saying some bad shit. Don't listen to Mike. Hold on. He talks mad shit.
So I will say this: the pay per view wasn't a 10 out of 10.
No,
but I will say this: I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that we know how Ricochet celebrated when he won that title.
Yeah. Wow.
Ricochet went live on Chatterbait.
Damn. So is that all right? Now I haven't been seeing anything about this online. Is this spreading? Are people really talking about it, or it's just it went in and out? No pun intended.
Oh, dude, people are going in on the internet of the Ricochet thing.
Oh, damn, he's just a freak. They'll probably add it into a storyline or something. Now that Paul
like
Heyman's in
Twitter, I saw like women on Twitter saying, "Look, I would like to, give him, the rub down."
There you go. They'll give him they'll give him a gimp mask, He'll come out doing all his flips and stuff.
Get mask with the fucking mouth cut out.
And then that's it. And then his finisher, remember, like they had the mandible claw type thing. It'll be like two thumbs.
Oh no!
Go put the DDT and the plug and
Give me a DDT with your other hand, bro. That's what I'll be telling him. Put me in a headlock with that arm.
The DDT.
Use both hands.
Hey, yeah, you told me you said you found this shit like on 8chan or something, didn't you?
Dana saw it or something. I have not seen it. That's what I was saying. It's like I haven't seen many people.
On the dark web.
It's
And
I saw it on Rule 34. I saw it on Rule 34.
Nah, you told me you found it on 8chan. I was like, what the fuck are you doing on 8chan, Dave?
I did not look on 8chan. That's Big Mike trying to put me in there with them pedos. No,
that's a scary place, man. That's
right.
2 or 3 clicks, and I'm feeling dirty.
Actually, it was on. The video from it was linked into spankbang.com. That's where the video goes. I'm dropping it serious. I'm fucking serious, man.
Oh man. Well, I hope it doesn't ruin his career. I don't think it will.
I don't think so. Nobody. I mean, honestly, the people that are important enough that didn't talk about it aren't talking about it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's a nothing for him.
I'd say if it was big enough, heard people, chanting, the one and only finger banger, like I was going to protect.
Yeah, right. One.
Well, let me just say this real quick, and then I guess we can get back on topic. But just to end off this discussion on Ricochet, no, he's fine. This is celebrated because you saw who was backstage when they did the celebration. Seth Rollins and Charlotte.
Everybody was back there.
They have had their own controversies with leaked photos, videos, etc. So
did you see how quickly he brushed off that hug from Charlotte?
Yeah.
Well, he don't want Andrade coming at him.
I don't want that shit. Because I'm going to the closet and get my own loving.
Right. What I found interesting is that they had some pops in the crowd, not too many, but when Ricochet went into the back and Triple H popped up, gave him that hug, you heard the crowd, they went nuts. They're like, oh.
They did. Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, really? I mean, you're the same people booing the match before this with the Roman, or was it after? But they're bitching about everything. But here's the man that's there who has some power over things, and they were going off the roof for him.
Yeah.
So
that was a good match, though.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a good match. There was some good matches on it. That was good. Dolph Ziggler wasn't too bad with Kofi. That finish was kind of interesting. Good. Never seen a finish like that.
I think when I was talking to Dan about it, I think there was like 3 matches I liked out of the whole pay-per-view. The rest was just meh.
Yeah. But I feel like it was bound to happen. They just have too many shows. There's too many pay-per-views. There's too many things going on. The storylines, they don't really have much of a storyline to just progress everyone along the lines there. So no one really gives a shit. It's just too much going on. But all right, what's the next one, Dana? Oh shit.
Okay, this is something that you're very excited about. Basically, if you've been watching throughout the weeks, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose has kind of been teased that they are going to have a possible lesbian romance storyline. Basically, what has been happening is Sonya Deville, as you guys already know, is openly gay female. Yep. And, she is very much celebrating Pride Month. And she has always been very open about her sexuality. And you even have the flag that she always wrestles with. Mm-hmm. And basically, WWE has been slightly teasing, not going like fully in, but slightly teasing, just a tip.
Just a tip.
There's a budding romance.
See, that's
I support it. Fully support it.
Collect yourself, Data.
Basically, there has been like a little, romance between the two. There's been some tense moments, and they're able to like relax each other. There was the whole incident where Mandy Rose was stroking. Well, Sonya Deville was basically stroking Mandy Rose's hair, to the east and to the west.
So not just a tip, but a plastic tip. Oh, okay. I see. That's the sound you hear.
So the question is, because we've seen them WWE do this, but with the guys. Remember with the fake marriage?
Yeah, but that was more of offensive. Yeah, more of making fun of
they
the
make
gay.
fun, exactly, but that's as far as they ever really go with it. They've never really gone full blown, and I wonder if this is something that they will go full blown and just make it serious. You think so?
I think they will.
Well, remember the whole Finn Balor thing. Everyone seems to forget, but the whole Finn Balor, is for everyone club and his whole pride thing. And remember, he posted a photo of him licking a lollipop penis with rainbows on it.
Damn, you go to some funky sites. I think that was straight up Photoshop.
No, it was on his Instagram.
I remember seeing him with the T-shirt, and everybody was like, "What's with the T-shirt?"
He had
Dan's where getting the dirt.
No, it's not dirt. It was on his Instagram. This was like a year and a half ago.
I don't know. This would have been big news. I don't know.
I'm looking for it right now.
So
be careful. They're gonna take you to 8chan. Be careful.
Oh shit! Hold on. Maybe I should get mad.
You start looking up weird lollipops.
So I do have a question about this Mandy Rose situation. So if they go all the way with it, that's great. The only problem is that I recall a storyline where Mandy Rose was trying to mess with Jimmy Uso.
So do they want
people? Well, yes, that's the point that I was getting
to. Remember that storyline with Naomi?
That's the point that I was getting to. So,
but is that still going? I mean, they haven't really done anything with it.
They haven't done anything with it.
Well, no, because they're on Raw now, so and they have not yet had that whole the special what's the name of it again? The clause where people show up on
the wild card.
That's it. They haven't really utilized that with having her and Mandy Rose have matches in that sense yet. So,
see, I remember there was a time it was on one of the shows. I think it was SmackDown. Mandy Rose came out with Sonya Deville, and she went up to a fan because one of the fans was like, "I want to marry you." She grabbed the sign and said, "Nah, you're not my type." Then then Sonya Deville grabbed Mandy Rose and kind of gave her the rub down, like, "Yo, it's okay." And they went on, they made their way to the ring.
That's weird. Well, I know they did. Sonya, no, because I mean, Sonya has a real girlfriend, and the girlfriend's in NXT. I forgot who it was, but it's one of the girls in NXT.
If you watch their YouTube, they're together forever.
Oh, so maybe.
But here's another question: Isn't Mandy Rose dating the guy in NXT? Or did they break up?
Which guy?
Oh, the tall, big one, Braun. Isn't it Strowman?
No. Braun's married.
No, it's that
Italian.
Italian.
He's not seeing Mandy.
No, it's the Italian guy who was part of a tag team. Sabatelli. Last name.
Oh no, it was. I thought it was Morgan that was with him.
Morgan.
Right.
Yeah, Liz
I'm
Morgan.
pretty sure Mandy's single or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was Morgan. Remember there was Liz Morgan, the one that used to date Enzo and that whole thing. I thought she was the one that was dating that guy. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. See what happens when something getting into the whole gossip shit. I was like, who dated who? I saw this one like that one. I don't know. I mean, overall though, if they do it, they have to be careful because they gotta do it right. They can't make it a joke,
right?
Because people will flip out.
Joke, they're gonna get so much.
Yeah, they'll get a lot of heat for that. They can't joke about it.
But you know what? Go ahead.
Like the Iconics. I feel like the Iconics sort of tease it where they always hold hands the whole time walking around.
But see, that's the other question, and I don't want to cut anybody off. The other question: how far can you take this if this is supposedly supposed to be a catered to kids? The show is also catered to kids.
You put that in the third hour, man. That's it. Remember they wanted to do the third hour
with Becky and Seth.
Even Becky and Seth haven't really done much. He kisses her on the forehead and stuff. They haven't really shown real affection. I mean,
all we saw was a hug on
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gives her the hug and he gives her the kid on the head, and it's like, all right, good job. That's it. He's not showing too much affection, so they're not going all out in that direction. Not yet, at least.
The Uso guy who's with Naomi.
Jimmy? Is it Jimmy? Yeah.
Jimmy. There you go. Put it alongside them. Because if you make it the third hour, you're gonna get heat either way. Because it's too raw for.
Well, they got to live up to that name already because it's been too long. So.
Well, they are also on SmackDown, so it won't be a third hour unless Fox says we want to make SmackDown 3 hours.
Yeah.
Fox doesn't even want it 1 hour.
Oh my
gosh.
That's a lot.
I feel like 3 hours is just long for Raw anyway. Like I feel like Raw could lose an hour.
Yeah, they
would be great for it.
You know, I remember.
I don't see Raw going to Fox though. I think Raw's sticking with USA.
I know, but they can still lose an hour. I'm just talking about as far as
remember the hour was brought on because USA Network wanted the hour.
Right.
And JBL had talked about that openly a bunch of times. And I remember on the network, in fact, they had that table, whatever, not table for three, but there was like some weird discussion, fire chat thing they were trying to do. And they were talking about answering questions, and somebody asked something a question, just like we just said. It's like, Raw doesn't need to be 3 hours. Why is it 3 hours? And then he was like, oh, no, it does. And the network wanted it because it was pulling in ratings, and, it makes more money because there's more advertiser in that hour, and they didn't have any content for that hour, meaning the network. So it just made sense. Just extend what we have that's working. It's like, yeah, but this product sucks. It suffers for that.
Because it's got to work for it to work.
Yeah, we got all this fluff. Raw tries to do too much within those 3 hours, and it just doesn't flow. You got too many comedy pieces, you got talking pieces, you have wrestlers that come out thinking that they have talk shows now. That makes no sense.
Yeah, every single Raw opens with the segment with somebody in the ring for at least 15-20 minutes.
Yep.
That's I don't understand that. And when it's the McMahons, I especially don't enjoy that, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's like, shoot, just
make
it like
on that.
If you want to keep people entertained into them, just put matches. That's all.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Hashtag AEW. You know what I'm saying?
At least now, my fear. This is my fear. See, we're all happy. Everybody's happy. Yeah, I'm happy. Have some matches, but shit, man. We'll get to that. I have my fears, but we'll get to that. All right. Well, what's the next? What else are we talking about? Tina?
Okay, Rob, coming right now.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. Whoa, that's what she said. Wait, hold on. That is what she said. Okay.
Me Too movement.
Shit.
Don't worry, we're going to edit that shit out. I got Adobe Audition too.
Okay, so the topic that Adam is very excited for is the 24/7 title, which Drake Maverick still wants people to know he has not consummated his marriage yet, and Adam wants to know what is the end game for this title. And I say there is no end game, just like everything else Vince does until he gets bored with it.
See, and that's done. It's gotta go somewhere. Is what I'm asking for.
It's going right down the dump.
Here's the surprising thing about that, though. Like when you look at all the stats and everything like that for when R-Truth has the belt, he's really pushing numbers, at mentions on fucking Twitter. All these things. R-Truth is really getting some pop behind the belt. But me personally, I'm like, it needs to be the hardcore title. Fuck that 24/7 shit.
It seems like a joke. That's what I'm saying. It's it's cool for R-Truth. It's entertaining.
R-Truth is actually popping with it, but I hate it for him.
Yeah,
and he has to be stuck like that.
Yeah, and once they take it off him, where's it gonna go? What's gonna happen? I don't get it.
9-time champion now.
I thought it was 8.
I don't know. It's too many times. Too many. It's too many.
Wait till we get to the 54-time champion.
Well, you already know that the investors will not let them use hardcore to talk about the title.
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah, that's very sad because I enjoyed the hardcore title reigns in the past. So
they could just give it something else, another name, like Anything Goes or something like that, or the Reckless title. They don't have to use hardcore. There's other words that they can use if they want to, but this 24/7. It just, I feel like he doesn't.
They should call it the no DQ belt or something.
Yeah, because I mean, the last week they had where he was hiding, and that was one where it was cracking jokes on Maverick, calling him Hornswoggle and stuff, and that was funny. But then as soon as they move off camera, there's a whole group of wrestlers just running around. It's like a cartoon. Like they're all running together in their undies looking for him. And I was like, shit, man.
And then they got Jinder Mahal doing this shit.
Yeah,
he's a former fucking champion. Like,
well, they had EC3. That was just sad and depressing.
All of them. It's just sad. They shouldn't even be in that position.
My issue is that I'm slightly confused about it because remember there are parts where it's just the whole circus, and then they have actual sanctioned matches. So I don't get the point of what they're trying to do.
There you go. They don't even know. Like Rich said, they just winging this shit. They have no clue what's going on. They're like, all right.
Well, hold on a second though, because Adam, you told me off air that you enjoyed that little R-Truth.
You know, when I tell you secrets, keyword is secret. You don't hear that shit. I gotta edit something else tonight.
Oh yeah.
Don't glad I didn't tell you my social.
Yeah, the Saudi Arabia airplane segment that people were laughing at. When he pinned Jinder, and I thought it was very funny how Jinder fell asleep that quick from coming out the bathroom. Wow, this guy.
He did.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
He took a big one in the bathroom. It just exhausted him. Yeah. It just hit that.
That's it.
And he was over.
Yeah. I just don't care. Yep.
I did like that segment, though. I'm with you, though, bro. I know it's a secret, man. Me too. I like that airplane segment. But that's not how all the segments are, though, for the belt. Like, if they were that elaborate, it probably would be better, but it's not.
Did you see the wedding? Did you see Maverick's wedding?
Yes.
Corny as fuck, too.
Oh, my God.
Well, hey, well, that's it, Adam. Let's just call it the roll-up pin belt because every time somebody gets pinned, it's a roll-up.
There's a roll-up.
Yeah. A roll-up that never works in a ring, but it works nonstop outside the ring. It's like, shit, I've been rolled upside down. What do I do? Just lay here for a little bit and think about it. I got, fucking shit, man. Well, that's what I liked, at least the hardcore. It's like hit somebody with a cinder block.
It was like, okay, now it's believable.
Exactly. It was like, okay, now he's knocked out. Or like when they did the door, I forgot who it was. It was funny though. I think it was when the APA was around. They used one of the APA door.
When they used a door.
Yeah, and the guy knocked down, and it's like,
I
okay.
thought you said Dorf.
Dorf? No. We don't use that term, Dana.
Well, they did that term.
They're little people.
That's what you said.
I said door. Oh man, you can get me in trouble. You saw the hate mail I got last time. We got different type of people that watch and listen to this shit. Damn, Dana.
Hornswoggle.
Oh Lord.
I didn't say that door. You said I said door, Dana. I didn't say door.
Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do at this time. And that's my question. Anybody have ideas like long term? Do you think it's gonna be around the same time next year?
Yes.
No.
I think so. Because Vince likes bad decisions. So
I think this belt will be around for a while. And I know Danny hates probably to hear this. Once Brock gets the belt, because he's getting it, I'd say SummerSlam.
Uh-oh.
He's going to get it during SummerSlam. And once he gets it, at SummerSlam, this will be their way, the belt being, a belt on a show being appeared and, defended 24/7.
So I definitely have something to say on that, but I'm going to wait till you get to that topic about the other news regarding who was taking over Raw and SmackDown, because I do think that Mr. Heyman can make a difference if he is given the opportunity to do so.
He did last time. I mean, he's been in this position before. Him and Eric Bischoff. Once we get to there.
Okay.
But then there's some. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
What's the next one, Dana?
All right. Basically, it has been revealed that the Undertaker, his big return, that we saw on what was it, Raw?
Yeah.
To basically save Roman Reigns. It was like, oh my God. That was in the making way before his match with Goldberg at the Super Showdown. Many people are like, oh, well, Undertaker came back kind of like, I'm sorry for that terrible match. Not at all. They planned him being at Extreme Rules from the very beginning, and then they asked him later on to do the Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia, which was a hot mess.
It's hard to get. It's hard to believe it. I don't find it believable because we've all seen it. I don't know if you. Yeah, I think we all. People must have seen it. Yep. It's that famous one, that tweet that somebody sent. It was like, "Man, why can't you just let Undertaker retire?" And Undertaker liked it.
He could have accidentally liked it.
Accidentally. He didn't retract that.
I accidentally liked something before, and that resulted in a hot mess.
He read it and he liked it. It's not like it was a picture. Well, a picture you can accidentally like a picture.
This is all according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Yeah, no.
I'm down for Undertaker retiring, and this whole match is. I think it's gonna be stupid. Why the fuck is he even tagging up with Roman Reigns? And Roman Reigns is the one that pinned him and took his WrestleMania moment and says, without saying, "This is
my yard."
This is my yard.
I'm the prick.
That right there.
Yeah, remember that? He was in the ring. He's like, "Yeah, boom, I don't care, man."
See, what you just said right there, Michael, that is exactly what I was going to say. They have already told the story that Roman Reigns has beat The Undertaker, but you've also told the story that Shane has lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So I didn't understand what is this whole thing? Oh, what now? Shane is supposed to be a different outcome now. Shane is tough now.
That's the thing with WWE.
Shane's going to beat The Undertaker.
That's the thing with WWE. They love to rehash stupid shit.
Yes,
it's disgusting.
You know who they should bring out? They should bring out Snitsky.
No,
they should just bring him out, have him with a stroller again, and say he's here to kill more babies, and just fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Might as well.
It's sad. It's sad. All this is sad because that's the thing. We enjoy Undertaker. I love the Undertaker, but I don't want to see him fall apart in the ring in front of my very eyes. I want to keep the memories. I don't want to see him struggling doing everything.
We need to see that. I think he wants us to see that.
I don't want to see him, just collapse in the ring one day.
Yeah, half-assing shit. No, I don't want.
We saw him grab Goldberg at the Super Showdown and almost broke Goldberg's neck.
But to his credit,
Goldberg failed too.
Yeah, exactly. I think Goldberg failed to push off because that's a two-man thing. You got to push up. He didn't push, and that was all dead weight. And they're all real saucy. It was like 100-something degrees, so a little slip, and that's why he decided, well, you know what? Once I break your neck, flapjack.
You guys are saying, you guys are saying that you wouldn't have gotten any enjoyment out of Undertaker breaking Goldberg's neck and then telling him who's next.
Damn.
Right after he
that would be cold-blooded.
Nobody's saying that, Rich. What's wrong with you?
Listen, I give Goldberg a trigger because you read about it that after the match they both went back there and they had a screaming match.
Yeah.
Goldberg was heated.
Yeah.
So I still didn't even understand if it was clear. Like, did he knock himself out before the match? When he headbutts the door
on the door.
See there, but then people are saying, and then others that were there said, no, he knocked himself out when he went diving into the turnbuckle. He hit his head because that's when he got busted open. That was legit, and that his head was wrung at that point, and that was it. He was never the same. So they're saying it happened in the ring. So,
right. So that's what I got the understanding was that when he went for that turnbuckle and he tried to bump himself frontwards on that, his head went too far and he actually hit that shit. Like a fucking.
And then after that, he forgot how to do it. It's like, all right, do your move. What move? Just jackhammer. What's that? Oh shit! You mean DDT? Yeah. No, sucker, no.
You're like, what's this? What do you mean I do a jackhammer?
Oh, what is that? It's so, you know what? And I gotta say, they are so lucky that happened in Saudi Arabia because the crowd was kind of shocked, but then also didn't give a shit. Because if you remember, you could see people walking out. No one wanted to watch this match. But if that would have happened in the States, you fucked up. You fucked up. The chance would be through the roof.
They would chant CM Punk and all that shit.
Well, they would everybody.
As Danny would say, like we were watching pay-per-views together, he goes, that's a toilet bowl match where you go to the bathroom break match.
You know, that match could have been a
Browns up at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, see, there you go. That match could have been quick. Remember how it started off? What was it? It was a 2 spears, and then it went to a tombstone already. I'm like, yo, that's it. This match is almost over. But no, they wanted to have a full match.
Right.
So here's the question. So here's a question. Given what Undertaker is doing now, is it safe to say that Drew McIntyre is going to win that tag match?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I would hope so.
Yes, as long as he's with Shane, he's going to win.
I'd say I would hope so, because maybe this will put Drew over. Maybe that's what they're doing it for, to put Drew over.
Yeah, because I did see some report, and I don't really believe if the report is accurate or not, that Undertaker handpicked Drew McIntyre as the person that he wanted to wrestle.
Well, he had that right even before, that he always had the right to pick who he wanted, unless Vince was really adamant about, like, hey, we need help.
Right, you need you to fight John Cena.
But most of the time, he gets to pick, especially if it's nothing serious. So if like, hey, we just need you to be on TV. Who do you want to wrestle with? You know, and then he's like, him. I like this guy, and I'll work with him. You know, but so I believe that. You know, he sees a lot of him. But the thing is that we don't see it. I don't care about this man. If Undertaker really wants to be relevant and in the match and all this stuff, and he's holding that, I want to see a gimmick versus gimmick. I want Sting. Give me Sting versus Undertaker. That I want to see. I'm not gonna happen though. That's it. And Sting needs to win a match because he has not won a match in WWE. And
has he not? I thought he
Nope.
What?
They had him
job out. I'm trying to think right now. He hasn't, has he?
No.
That was that Triple H thing at WrestleMania.
Let's say the last time Sting was in a match,
Seth Rollins,
and that was it. Last time Sting was in a match was with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins injured him, and he hasn't been back.
Yep.
They inducted him into the Hall of Fame, and that was it.
Yeah, so it's like he hasn't even had a win, and shit, I want to see that.
But I mean,
that's how bad it got.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he was injured though, because I actually got to talk to him at the Comic-Con. He was injured, and his neck is bad.
But he said he's fine now. He's over there doing StarCast and doing those other things. So,
StarCast, careful, proceed with caution.
There you go. You know,
WWE does not want to StarCast. Get him away. Get him away from there. Get him away from StarCast.
Yeah, well, they did. They paid him to do some other shit, like to get off. I don't think it was StarCast, some other event, and they took him off it. So they're weird.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, but I wanted him to at least win one match.
I can't. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm truly tripping. He did not win anything.
Nope.
Well, if that Undertaker match happens, he may not win that match.
No, he win. Undertaker will give him something. Undertaker don't give a shit. The only thing Undertaker had going was the streak. And remember, the streak was an accident. It was somebody in the back that figured the shit out. I was like, yo, he's never lost at a WrestleMania. I'm like, what? It's like, oh, we can run with this. But they didn't know. And now that's over. So then what's the point?
Yeah, the streak is over.
That's it. So
damn. I just wanted to retire on top. Like, don't give us a fucked up match and you end up hurting yourself and you can't stand up. And then
it's
the next day we got a tweet talking about you're okay, but you can't wrestle.
Did you see the Andre? Did you see the Andre doc?
Andre, yep.
That Andre one. Remember that? And the same shit. It was like he was
same shit.
Vince kept telling him, "Oh, I'll give you more money. Just come on." And the money's good. So it's like, all right. But you see, Andre, he can barely stand up. He's holding on the ropes. He's holding his legs. Like, he's moving all slow and shit.
Barely doing
we don't need to see that. We don't need Undertaker to go out like that.
They should just let him go out. They should just let him go out when he put his, took his vest off and hung it.
That's it. I thought it was over when he left everything.
I thought it was over. I was like, that's the sign. It's over. That's what they should have left it and cut it. And
think about it, the man had hip surgery.
Yes.
Hip replacement surgery. I know a few people that had it and they can't walk right. It changed them for life. Now imagine they're now taking bumps and you have a fake hip, artificial hip. That's crazy. Oof. I'm surprised he's doing that shit. And I know it can't be for that. How bad do you need the money? I can't believe. Yeah, I get it. It's just fuck, man.
I can't believe Undertaker will really need that cash, though.
Damn,
well, hold on. Doesn't him and his wife have kids?
He has kids from previous marriage, older kids, but not with the former WWE chick.
Not with Michelle McCool.
Yeah, not with McCool.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but he got older kids, and I only know that because he talked about it on that religious show. Remember when he did that, where he came out of the character and just started talking? That was not so long ago. Yeah, and he talked about it. He was like, "Oh, I like talking to fans, but if I'm with my kids and we're hanging out and stuff like, oh, you got babies? You reproduced? It must be." There we go. Got little takers out there. Because remember when he had Sarah tattooed under his neck, and then when that ended, he removed the Sarah. So I'm assuming the kids are with her because he was with her for a long time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see. And then that's it. All right, so
we're almost there. There was news that kind of semi-dropped. We're almost there. We have a somewhat update. Remember, every year there's this small little video game that comes out that always sucks. Well, this year won't be any different. WWE 2K20, the video game.
Yes.
Yo, another video game dropped on Switch this week. Cluck Cluck something pro wrestling. I'm like, what? Yeah, what? I'll find it. Some weird Cluck Cluck is something it's called. Click Cluck. I don't know. It's weird. I'll find it.
Okay,
what is that?
I was gonna tell Rich. I'm like, yo, I think I need to review this shit. The wrestling. Click Cluck Cluck pro wrestling. Hold on, I'll find it. Keep going.
Basically, what they started doing is they started filming for their big commercial, and the commercial they said that they spent tons and tons of money on, and it's going to be similar to the NFL 100 commercial from the Super Bowl event. So the people who was filming down there was Hulk Hogan. Ric Flair wasn't on set, but he is scheduled to be there. Steve Austin, Sting, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman, Charlotte, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, and that's what they have so far. Now, other than that, we do not have a release date, but we do know that the game usually drops every time in October, which is 4 months and 2 days away?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, yeah. And they have the digital deluxe and the collector's edition is basically the same thing that they're going to have every other year. They're going to have this year. But other than that, we have zero information about it at all.
Well,
and there's no word on Sasha Banks.
Well, we know that when they do those 2K is the one that pays for it. It's not even WWE because they did the same thing with the whole thing with Sting. That was 2K. They paid for it. They reached out to Sting. They did all that. The same thing with Goldberg. It was their whole thing. They were handling it, and then WWE jumped in and said, "Hey, Goldberg, you want to go and do something else?" So I don't think this is something that they're paying. This is something 2K is paying them. And remember, the videos. I don't know if in this one, but all the other ones were done by Heyman's film production company that he has.
Right. I also remember reading on DualShockers.com that there's going to be 2 WWE games. One's going to compete with with each other.
Yeah, for THQ.
Yeah, they're making some internal beef. They're trying to do a RAW SmackDown type thing, and I'll believe it when I see it.
They said that the other game is going to have a grapple system reminiscent of the old school game.
Well,
2K is supposed to be making one, and what I was remembering, it's not going to be THQ that's going to make the other. I think what I was understood is it's going to be Ukes. It's the people that originally did.
Yeah, well, it was the Aki did it. The original, they did the Def Jam and stuff. That was the last time they used that engine. Mm-hmm. But this game, and I posted it for people listening, is Chicky Boxy Pro Wrestling. It dropped.
I need you to get yourself a copy of this and review it.
That's it. $14.99.
But I'll play the rival games when they come out and see which one's better. And test those games out and see who makes a better WWE game. I mean, if it's going to be like the Aki style games, then I'm 100% in. Mm-hmm. All in.
Yeah,
absolutely. And just allow me to say, don't be fooled by what Adam said, because he will definitely be picking up WWE 2K
every year. Every year.
Every year.
If we had a meter that would show like the friend level, it just keeps dropping. When you hang out, you're like, yo, he's my boy. We talking secrets, and he just keeps spewing all this shit online. I play that game offline, and now you just took my shit.
Hey! I will admit that I still go on 2K19 to see the creations.
That's mainly all I use. I use it. Yeah. I get all the AEW guys, Lucha Underground. I make the for the universe because I use universe mode, and I create my promotions, and then I just watch them feud out. Sometimes I play, sometimes I do matchups. I still enjoy that. But this last one though, if you guys played it, the career mode when they did the indie guy, looks like they added voice work, as opposed to just a text. I give them credit for that.
It wasn't bad. It was an improvement from what from 18 and 17 go.
Yes.
18 and 17 was cringy as fuck.
It was like playing like Final Fantasy. Like damn,
it was where's
the voice acting?
And it was the same old shit. Go in the back, go to the limo. Why do I have to go to the limo to leave and then just loop back again and then talk to the guy in the front who's just standing there? Hi, do you want a match? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, I work here. What? It's so weird. Oh, I don't want to see that.
And lastly, there's a little small story that dropped about Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff basically coming back to WWE to run the whole business company thing. So WWE basically hired two guys who ran their own company into the ground to write for their company now because Vince McMahon has basically run his own company into the ground. And they have decided that Eric Bischoff will be the executive director on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. So for Heyman has Monday Night Raw, Eric Bischoff has SmackDown Live, which is going to soon go over to Fox. And this was also to make, kind of convince Fox, don't cancel us. We can do great things.
We already spent all that money you gave us. Oh, shit.
Vince McMahon is still in control of the company, and every idea that Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman has will have to go through him as usual. So people were originally thinking it's because of the XFL. No, he's still going to be involved. So not really that much of a difference if everything has to go through him.
I said the exact same thing, Dane. After I read it, they can do all they want. They can throw all the ideas they want to Vince, but Vince has to okay it. He's going to have to sign off. But he can go no, this ain't going to work. I want to do this. He's I want this. This is the way we're going to do it. I don't fuck your idea.
Well, there's two issues that they have now. They have two issues because one, they're directors, right? So this is a whole new title. So no one even knows really how this works because from the way they described it, they are above Shane, Triple H, and Stephanie. These positions that they said they only the Bischoff and Heyman, they only report to Vince. That's it. They don't have to report to anybody else. Okay, then that's almost semi-god mode right there.
Yeah.
Then the second part is that a lot of wrestlers that were in TNA are not happy about this shit because there were some that butted heads with Eric Bischoff because people forget that he ran that promotion into the ground too. Because Dixie picked him up thinking, all right, I need some help. I need to do this. And his idea was, well, let's just bring back all the old WCW guys. Come on down. And they brought that whole crew in and they just collapsed it. So a lot of the people that were there that got stepped over because of this, like Bobby Roode and a few other Samoa Joe, a lot of people aren't thrilled by this.
Right.
So
wow, and I didn't think about it like that, but wow.
Yeah, so it's one of those situations. I'm sure a lot of people, especially if they were part of that TNA crew, like, can I go to Raw? I don't like this dude here. My new boss, me and him got some bad drama. I pissed on his car and shit. It's real bad. So can I just go over there NXT? I think they need some people. I like Florida.
What's interesting? It's two things that are affecting this decision right now, and that is Fox, of course, and AEW. I know a lot of people want to say, AEW's new, of course, they can't really be a threat. Oh, yes, they are. For them to be new and for Vince to be this worried, like, with the shitty branding that he's doing right now, the shitty booking, alongside Fox being worried, and then AEW is strong as shit right now. He needs all the fucking help he can get. And do I think Paul Heyman could do a good job? Yeah. I think he'd do a better job than Eric Bischoff. Because Eric Bischoff is always kind of like, he wants to be included in all the storylines and dumb shit like that. So, and that's what bogs it down. So I don't know. I don't know.
They did say with the part of their contract is that Heyman and Bischoff will not appear on screen or be introduced into any of the storylines.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Fuck. That's actually good.
All I want, and this is how I know shit's gonna change, is when Roman Reigns or whoever they want, the top guy on Raw is in the ring, doing a promo with them. I want the lights to go out. When they turn back on, I want to see Sabu pointing up. I want to see Rob Van Dam on the top.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's what I want to see, and then that's it. All will be well with the world. Because right now they're over in Impact and La La Land. Nobody gets that fucking channel. I gotta watch these dudes fight the Lucha Brothers and stuff online because I can't watch the channel.
And also Eric Bischoff is going to work exclusively with executives from Fox to build that show. And also remember, the attendance record has been horrible. You saw during the last pay-per-view how everything was tarped off.
Yes.
And the ratings have dropped below 3 million. It's almost reaching the 2 million point. SmackDown.
It's all bad timing for WWE, especially with the AEW stuff, because of bad ratings and lots of, they could deal with that. But when there's competition that's proving that they're selling out events and doing all that stuff, and you're switching,
but hey, but wait a second, Adam. Now I have to challenge that statement by saying this. Everything
this is like the debates. Here we go. Throw it
everything.
Oh shit!
Everything you said is correct. But to quote a certain Beast Slayer, man, we all work hard, and I get paid a ton of money. So don't worry, little buddy, you'll get there one day.
Oh man. See, we didn't even talk about that. That should have been on here.
We definitely got to address that.
That's it. This is a little asterisk. There's another piece. Shit. Do you guys know about this? With Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay?
Oh yeah.
On Twitter battle. That was another thing. So Seth Rollins had this whole little thing where he sent a tweet out talking about how he's the best, this and that. He's the hardest working wrestler. No one works harder than him. And Will Ospreay jumped in and was like, I do. I have more matches than you this year, and and they go into this back and forth Twitter thing, and then he was like, "Oh, I did this and this and that," and he was like, "Well, I was this Seth saying I was out hurt, I didn't get to wrestle all this." I was like, "Yeah, but I still did this." And so the Tokyo Dome, I did also, and then out of nowhere, just proving that he lost it, he was like, the Seth was like, "Well, show me your bank account." It's like, "Oh, it's about the money." Yeah. So then Wade Keller, the other guy who has his own site and does podcasts, so he sent a message. He was like, "Hey, that's kind of unprofessional to say all these little things, paraphrasing that." And Seth went after him too. He was like, "Shit, I pass this along to you too. I don't care about people's feelings, this and that. I'm just saying my thing." He's like, "All right, that's not becoming of a baby face of a company acting all cocky like this." So,
well, now we know what Seth Rollins' "Burn It Down" song really means.
Yeah, burn it down, burning bridges, burning bridges.
Yeah, that's right. Burn everything.
But you know what?
Burn those bridges.
Because I don't know if you guys, well, maybe you see, everyone saw that shit. The Will Ospreay Ricochet match that they did in Japan about a year or two back that went like viral because it was
went viral. They showed all those different spots.
So so Seth brought that up. He's like, "Well, we got the better version with us now, so we don't need you."
And included Ricochet in the tweet. At King Ricochet. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, shit, man. I'm sure Ricochet's like, "Yo, don't get me involved in this. I'm busy with my finger and shit. I don't got time to get into these things. Damn. You're taking away from my personal time." But oh man, but he could easily just say that it was all a work if Will Ospreay ever signs up. He could easily say, "Oh man, I was just doing that just to get some heat, whatever." But it's still, you should.
Oh no.
Who knows?
This is war. This is war now. You know, you saw the.
But he's starting a war with somebody who's not. That's not really competition. But I mean, he's not in a rival promotion. He's in New Japan. Remember, WWE loves talking about guys that come from Japan. They're cool with that, you know. But it's not like Will Ospreay is over in AEW. He's not one of those guys.
Oh no, so. but since you did bring that up, we might as well address the whole thing about these events happening around the same time. You know, the Kenny Omega tweet that he also sent out. Dirty. Yeah, when WWE decided, well, yeah, we're going to have this Evolve event the exact same time as the other AEW event coming up next month.
Yeah. It's and they're doing that. Yeah, it's messed up. And then the one even after that, right? Don't they have like the WWE UK? They have an event happening.
Oh yeah.
NXT. And they said the same thing. They were like, "Oh yeah, that was scheduled, months ago, aka 20 minutes ago."
Here's why I'm not mad though, and people seem to forget this. Nobody really watches. The thing with WWE is that it's on demand, so you could still watch the pay-per-view from AEW and then go and watch the whole Evolve thing. Like WWE does not have that much of a stronghold where you have to watch it live.
Yeah.
That's true. So, I can absolutely agree with that. 100%. And you know what? I'm gonna be watching motherfucking AEW. I'm being honest with you. You know,
he's made his choice. It's it. So it's sad. It's sad.
It's dirty. I mean, like, and plus they're doing like the gun violence thing, right?
It was like some kind of it was some kind of nonprofit thing that they're trying to help for families of victims of gun violence, and like, this is a low blow. Why would you do this?
It's like, man, y'all really doing this? Like WWE just went Shao Kahn on this.
That's it. They gotta be cutthroat. They're scared right now. Things are pretty bad.
It's like The Wire. Remember that show, The Wire?
Oh, shit, yeah, I remember The Wire.
The Corner Boys. They turned into Corner Boys. Damn.
That's
right. Man, going Shang Tsung on us.
Man, they did go shit. Everybody gonna be running from Omar. I want Omar. I want a character like Omar to come in. That'd be awesome.
Well, bring back New Jack. New Jack is Omar.
Nah, he was too reckless. Omar wasn't that reckless.
Hey, but Adam, just
Omar coming. That could be his entrance song right there.
But Adam, just remember one thing. If WWE is Omar, remember what happened to Omar in The Wire.
That was cheap. That's out of all ways for him to go that way.
And you know that little kid could become AEW. Yes,
he's Cody. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody. Oh man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I still think it's a little bit too soon for everybody to think that they're the new one, the new savior when it comes to promoting. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of AEW, I would like to see the $1 Million Man go to AEW.
The original or his son?
His son, Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah.
No, he's busy in the country doing camps.
Yeah.
Doing what?
He's in the country, like helping children and building camps.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, he's religious and he's doing stuff. So.
Cool on him then.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
thought WWE let him go and
he did that movie. He did one of the Marine 15 or 16 or one of those. Yo, they
got the longest movie of the series.
Shit, man. I the other day I was talking to somebody about it, and he was like, "Yeah, the only one I liked was the one with Mr. Kennedy." I'm like, "Mr. Kennedy was a Marine?" It's like, sure enough, I looked him up. He was one of them.
He was a Marine.
He was a Marine. Mr. Kennedy was one of them.
Are you sure?
Kennedy.
Yep. Kennedy was there. Miz did it a bunch of times. Cena did it a bunch of times. Ted DiBiase Jr. did it. Randy Orton.
I know Randy did it. Yeah.
I don't think Randy Green either.
Fucking shit, man. It's so crazy. And that's the other thing. We're talking about these WWE made movies. None of them are on the network.
Nope.
Who creates a network and doesn't put any of their own movies on the shit?
That is absolutely true.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I made a new movie. Oh, it's gonna be no exclusive for Netflix, sucker. Oh, thank you. So you're telling me to subscribe to something else besides your shit?
Exactly.
I see how this works. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Yep.
Oh, what a letdown.
Dude, don't let it get you down.
Damn, that hurts. Because I remember being hyped for this network, man. When I heard, I was like, this is what I wanted from a kid. I always wanted something 24/7 wrestling. You know, I was like, yay! And no,
let me work out. Well, let me ask a quick question, because I know some of you still have a network. I canceled my subscription after WrestleMania, so I would like to ask those of you that still have the network, what is the reason that you still have it? What besides the pay-per-view, what else on there keeps you watching it?
NXT.
Yeah, NXT.
I enjoy watching the NXT
like
UK
NXT.
too. Yeah, the UK, they get crazy there. They start bringing out tables and all kinds of weapons and shit. All hell breaks loose in the UK.
Just cancel Raw and bring some of the wrestlers from Raw into NXT.
Oh yeah, there's that fan. Either that or she just got kidnapped and she's in the back of a truck.
Sorry.
You know, but how about this? This is something I was thinking, and they haven't really discussed it. Probably won't happen, but fucking rebrand SmackDown now that's going to Fox. Give it a different name.
They're doing that.
Yeah, they are doing that.
So
there's a new logo as well.
But it's not going to be SmackDown. That's what I'm saying. Kill SmackDown. Call it something else.
The name of it.
Yeah. SmackDown something else.
So what's the name going to be?
I don't know. Call it
Fox
something.
Fights.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Give it something else. But SmackDown, it's done.
And when they kill that or they rebrand SmackDown, they also need to kill this this whole rule, this wild card rule.
Well, that's gone. Yeah.
Is it gone? I don't know.
It's gonna be gone.
I heard from what Meltzer was saying that was also a USA Network decision to have the wild card because they wanted all the talent always on the show. They're like, "Can we always get all your star talents?" I was like, "No, they're a part of the other show." Well, fix it. Do something.
I think if Heyman and Bischoff actually get some type of power, they will not let certain people that they are writing content for move over to the other show. I mean, I would think that that's how they would operate, but I don't know.
Well, WWE released an entire statement explaining that they're rebranding, so a lot of things are going to change.
Well,
then if it's a rebranding, like you said, then that usually means that the name is going also.
They said they want it to be two separate shows, but they're expanding their brand in their universe.
You know what? Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground could work as the name of the show. It didn't have to be a pay-per-view. Go ahead.
That's true.
It's like WWE Stomping Ground.
It's a Timberland boot. No.
I don't know. You got Ricochet there. You know, get some lights and
Ricochet's ball.
Yeah, right. There you go. We got a little bit of everything. Oh man. Well, they need to do something. They need to do something because that's a big money contract, multi-year deal that can disappear in
I'm say, 2 months. We'll cancel your ass. Like
they will.
Cancel a lot of shows that were good. So it's like
they killed shit. They killed my Firefly. I'll never forgive them for that shit. Damn.
So I do have one final question I want to ask before we talk about the predictions for Fyter Fest. How long if I was to say for you guys are come with a timeline of how long until Vince runs off Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman? What would y'all say y'all timeline is?
I'd say
he can't run off Eric.
I say 1 year. 1 year. Because that money gonna be all right at first, and then when they realize that it's not all that they cracked up to be, he's gonna go. So,
do we know how long these contracts are for? No, right? You don't know.
No.
I mean, if anything, it might not even be 1 year. This it's probably one of those situations where we need shit to be turned around. We need actual action being taken. We need to see some results soon. So, honestly, I feel the only way it's gonna happen. They have to get rid of this whole PG-13 shit. They have to get rid of, as much as they like to joke about the Attitude Era, what a time, but we moved on. You moved on and you've gone downhill ever since.
Ever since.
People seem to forget that the Attitude Era had some really crappy stuff in it.
It did, but it had a lot of matches that were over the top, and they gave us color. We had blood, we had violence, we had all kinds of shit. Yeah, there was some crappy Triple H having sex with corpses and shit, but there were matches in between. We had Undertaker who had a coat.
Fucking Edge was about to fuck in the middle of the ring and shit.
Yeah, we had a lot of violence. We had flaming tables, we had barbed wire bats and stuff. We had craziness going on.
Hardcore belts.
Yeah, hardcore belts. We had action stuff for the older audience, and people like, if he doesn't believe what's happening with AEW, well, that's what AEW is doing. They're not catering to the younger audience,
right?
This is for that audience that grew up with all that other shit. Like, I want some of that. Can you give me more of that? Yeah, we can give you more of that. It's like, that's it. Don't worry, you don't have to see all these little spoof gimmicks and stupid segments. And
because that's what the Gold does. Well,
that's it. Remember,
but that match.
The whole reason Raw is called Raw is because of that. It was supposed to be badass. It was supposed to be, they had the sirens, remember? They had the Raw is War, and they had all that shit.
No, they can't do that now because the kids and all the stuff.
Remember, they had Shotgun Saturday Night. They actually referenced the gun. They were
they can't do that no more.
Exactly. They can't do that no more. They're catering to this younger audience. The younger audience don't care for this shit. They don't care. They don't care for it.
I do think that Fox will want the show to be edgy. I don't know of too many shows on Fox that are way too
like Family Guy and all that shit. That shit ain't cool.
No. Now here's the thing: is I keep hearing back and forth. Is this? I heard it got moved to Fox Sports FS1. That it's not
I did not hear that. No,
because that was one of the things. I'll see if I find who wrote that.
What?
I didn't see that.
Let me see. I'll look it up.
That'd be awesome if they got to move to Fox Sports 1.
Let me see. Well, I know that's not what they want because they figure, broad appeal if you're on basic TV as opposed to going to cable. Hold on. Keep going. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
No, I didn't get that.
Wow. Yeah, please let me know if that's a thing because that would be way different than what I'm expecting, Because that's
I didn't see. I didn't remember they have a new logo and everything.
I saw that new logo. Yes,
they have the new logo, which does not suck. I mean, it isn't anything fascinating. It looks like a basic fox with a WWE symbol and regular SmackDown. So they're not changing the name.
Well, the funny thing you say about that, and I hate to go back to an old topic, but the funny thing about that new logo, damn well that will not be in WWE 2K20. Everything's still going to be out of date.
That's true.
Everything going to still be out of date.
They always are behind with the games. I don't understand it, but
basically they changed how SmackDown will look with the seating. Also, they want it to have a boxing event feel to it.
Oh.
So how you have the Vegas boxing events where you have all the Hollywood stars in the front and all these different interviews with different people in the audience. That is what they're looking for.
Okay, so it looks like real quick, because I found the article and I'll post it in the chat and for people looking for it. It looks like it's a new show that Fox wants to be put on FS1, and they want Jerry the King Lawler part of it. This was posted April 5th, 2019. I'll post this in the chat. What site is this?
Just to make a quick comment, what you said, Dana, makes 100% makes a lot of sense because I did see an article talking about Fox was looking to get celebrities for when they started the show. So
their debut show is at the Staples Center, and they want it to be like a huge impact. They changed the logo, they changed the music. They're going to change how the ring looks. They also brought in these fancy new cameras so they can have different camera angles that makes it feel like an actual box. They want the feeling of a boxing event because, Fox is known for its boxing shows. So that's what they're going for.
They were known for UFC, and then they lost that to ESPN.
Right.
Whoa. Shit.
Well, that was the whole thing during the time when it was up for the contracts. It was either pick up WWE or pick up UFC again, and then they decided to go with WWE, and then ESPN went with UFC. But then they really couldn't afford the whole deal. I honestly feel because they moved all the UFC events to the ESPN Plus, which is their sub service. So you have to pay $4.99 for.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yep.
You always want some extra fucking cash, man.
That's it, right? So think about it. You get cable, you pay for cable to get ESPN. Now you got to pay for another service from ESPN to get that shit. Yeah.
Damn right. They said damn right.
They don't give a shit. They don't care. But right, that's it. Everybody trying to empty out our pockets. They're just hanging us upside down. Here we go. What you got? What you got?
Click all you hear the change drop.
How bad do you want this? Don't go to YouTube and see the highlights, please. Just watch this shit. Oh man.
Man, that's what I'm all about. Hashtag AEW. You know?
Right. See, I really hope. All right, we'll get to before. You know what? Yeah, how about this? Before we get into the predictions, let's just talk a little bit about AEW. Okay. What's the overall view from everyone here for the future of AEW? Right now, yeah, it's sky's the roof. We're all happy. The shows have been fired. We're like, yeah, they're pay-per-view events, though. When they get to TV, is it going to be the same? No. When we're seeing it day in and day out, what type of product are we going to see? Because obviously they can't kill it like this every week. So
it's going to be like old WWE, WWF without microtransactions. That's what AEW is going to be like.
Without surprise.
It's like buying a full game that has no microtransactions. That's exactly what it's going to be. Dude.
It's going to be without surprise mechanics.
Yeah, surprise mechanics.
All right, so do you think now? Because this is when they were interviewing Cody. This is after Double or Nothing, and they talked about the TV deal and all that stuff for TNA. And he's like, "Oh yeah, they said it's going to be edgier and it's going to be more mature audience that they're going for." And they had asked him, "Are you going to have death matches and things like that?" And he said, "Well, it depends on the situation and if the wrestlers want to have it." Do you see that? Can you imagine tuning into TNT and seeing blood and crazy matches going on? Yeah. Do you think that's something?
You think zombie strippers?
That's it. That if they do that, they win. They win, right? That's right. Think about it. Even if someone is there with their kid watching, like, "Daddy, we're gonna watch your wrestling. Daddy's wrestling turned whack. We're gonna watch this new shit." That's it, because
hold on a second.
That's gonna be the lure right there. We're gonna be seeing. I mean, that was the lure for ECW. That was the lure for a long time. Yep. TNA when they first started with the X Division, all the craziness that was going on. You know, so if they're bringing that back and they do put that on TV and not just for pay-per-views, because that was the question I think the reviewer is really trying to get to is like, are we only going to see the craziness that's getting everybody hyped during the pay-per-views, and then the TV is going to be more subtle? And he was like, no, it's like whatever the wrestlers want. The wrestlers have creative control over their characters and their feuds. So if they feel there's a need for those type of things, they need color and a match to build a story, then do it. And supposedly TNA is giving them a reason for that.
That's amazing to me. It's like, you know, Moxley was talking about breath of fresh air. Like he felt like he could breathe after all these years and shit. And it's like, that's what you want, man. You want your people to be happy, and people to understand that if your employees are happy, the overall company will be better for it. You know, and that's what AEW is trying to push. They're pushing that we want our folks to be happy, not feel like that there's this person that just knows everything that's good for them. Because I may not know, you know, Cody may not know. He may not know what's good for somebody. You know, it may not work as well, and they may not be as comfortable with doing that gimmick. So I feel like that freedom is super important. It really is. It's super important.
And I think they're at a point where, especially with this roster, it's not a massive size. So it's controllable that way. The one fear that I have with it is that they announced that they're going to go off of a UFC wins and losses count, and they matter. And some people are like, yeah, that's great. Is it? Because there's always going to be people at the bottom, and we know wrestling, it's predetermined for the matches. So think if you're, Joe Schmo number 4, and they're like, hey, you're going to be the bottom of the list for a while. You're doing the job. Am I going to come up? Maybe eventually, but you're going to be in the bottom tier. And if you're working on the win-loss system, and that's just how the UFC works, you can't be number 20 and challenge number 1 or number 2 or number 4 or 5. Right. You have to work your way up. So you're basically telling people right off the bat, once you sign them or whatever, hey, you're going to be the bottom tier for a while. Are people going to be
I can't believe they're counting that. I mean, it's
that's what they said. They said win loss. That's their system. It's gonna be win loss, and they're gonna advertise it. So I guess every week they'll say, "Hey, when like in UFC, when a guy comes out and it says his ranking, and they're gonna do that, we're gonna see someone's gonna be ranked number 4, challenging number 5 or number 10 or whatever. So
So here's a question. Where is Kenny Omega ranked at now after that last match he had with Chris?
Shit, he's part of the executives. Aren't all those guys in the top 10 then, right? If you're an exec, the Young Bucks aren't saying, yeah, we're 15, 16. No, they're not going to say that shit.
Right. Man, that's weird to me, dude. I feel like you just can't when the outcome is predetermined. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like it's gonna be tricky to see that in action.
Unless they truly envision giving every wrestler a true fair shot. Which is, man, that's so weird, dude. For that,
it's very weird because you can't all be winners, and you can't say they're all gonna have amazing matches because they probably will. But it don't matter because it means there's always going to be people at the bottom because you're doing this win-loss system.
Mm-hmm. It's a forced bad stats, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like if they come out with a video game, is it going to be like that too? Like you got things like 2K. Like I don't know how that's going to be.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be. That's what I'm really looking forward to see how they implement on the TV show. Because that's gonna suck for some people that are always at the bottom.
Damn, that's gonna be bad, dude.
Yep. Unless the people that they put at the bottom are indie guys, like what we used to see way back when it was like a superstars of wrestling, and then it was like somebody that we know going against a nobody, and that's when we got the term jobber, just a local talent that just gets some TV time and just squash if they're gonna do those type of things. But you still got to put their names. You got to still mention them, their ranking. I mean,
right. You still have to count it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. Like, why would you still count that? The Brooklyn Brawler stats will be trash.
Oh,
yes. So you're just carving out instead of legends. You're just carving legends out. Like you just
or here's the other kicker. Let's say a guy comes in from another promotion or whatever, and it turns out he's a huge star, right? And that's not how they portrayed him. They didn't think he was going to be that big, but he's all the way at the bottom. Do you just throw him up? Do you jump some like, oh shit, the fans like him? Skip everybody. Now everybody else is gonna be heated because they're like, yo, I was here. We're working on this system. Yeah, I get it. Right. They like his haircut and shit. And he does a cool flip, but now you're bumping him up because of this shit. What about me? What about Raven? Right? It's gonna be some shit like that. So, and it's gonna happen.
Does the other shit count? Like if you're in WWE and you're like 10-time champion, does that fucking count?
They're proving it with Moxley. It does count because if you're a big name and you come over here, we're gonna put you in a top spot, right? It's justified because you're a money draw, and the bottom line, it's business. It's all business. Yep. It's all about money. I mean, shit. What's it? Moxley went to Japan, had one match in Japan against Juice, and he wins a title. Come on now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was bullshit. He should have lost that one. It was a good match. Don't give a guy a title like that. That's a smack in the face to everybody in the back that's been working there.
Working hard all year.
Yeah, exactly. You think
family.
Here's the question. But wait a second though, Adam. Here's the question. Does WWE have a good relationship with New Japan? I mean, they've taken a lot of the talent that
they don't have any relationship. They don't ever acknowledge them. They just acknowledge the continent. They're like, oh yeah, they're going out there.
Hey, Japan.
They don't ever talk about the promotion.
So that
right now, the New Japan only has one connection, U.S. connection. That's Ring of Honor. They have a tight connection. They did the Massacre Garden show. They do a lot of cross promotion. That's the main reason why they didn't work with AEW. It wasn't over beef and all that stuff. They just have contracts going on with Ring of Honor. That's for their North American. That's how it works. And when that phases out, maybe they'll start a deal with AEW. Who knows? But
I think that WWE has a thing with Ring of Honor. Like,
it was a while ago. Remember, there was talks.
I don't know. I think they got a connection with the Ring of Honor because you got to think that's where Kevin Owens came from.
Mm-hmm.
The new guy that just was on NXT where we saw the priest, Damian Priest.
Well, they would. Well, here's the thing, though, and a lot of people don't know this. And Kevin Owens is the one that spilled this, and it was on Colt Cabana's show. And I didn't realize this. He said a lot of guys are pay as you go. Not everybody there has a contract. It's not like me where you get there and go. He was a pay as you go. He said he was still broke and he was a champion.
Yep.
He was still broke. So I think that's the situation. A lot of these guys don't have contracts. So that WWE just comes in and says, hey, they just gave you a belt. All right, so you're a champion. All right, we can take that. And
that makes sense.
That makes sense. All right, and then poof, and then they just take them. And that's how they get to gobble up. And they don't do anything about it. Ring of Honor, they're in it, but the owners own the cable company. So this is just to fill some of this time slots. They were never too much about, we want to make a killer promotion. It's more like we need to fill up some time slots. We can come up with a TV show and a sitcom or something, or we could just put some wrestling and let's make a promotion, and that's it. So there's only like a handful of guys that actually have contracts, like Jay Lethal, the Briscoe brothers.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, Briscoes. I would love to see them
go.
I
would love to see AEW
for sure.
Yeah, but besides
their
that,
contract just ran out with Ring of Honor.
They'll never leave. If the rumors are true about the dad's crazy. Remember, they have the chicken farm. And real talk. The dad he needs his kids to work and help the chicken farm, and that's why he wouldn't let them go to WWE. And this came from Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard talked about this.
Damn.
I signed him.
Once you start the chicken farm, you don't go back.
He said he won't. Because remember, we know that WWE schedule is crazy. You're working like 300 days a day. Traveling all over. They'll take him away, and they won't have time to help him with the chicken farm. So he told him, "Don't do it." So he signed with.
Easy as fuck.
I know it don't sound believable, but a lot of people say,
I believe you. I just said it sounds.
I know, and this came from Bruce Pritchard. If somebody just Google Bruce Pritchard talking about Jay Pritchard. So
Dude Love. No, I mean not Dude Love, but Dr. Love.
Yeah, he said he reached out. They wanted to pick him up a long time ago, and that's what they said. It was a conflict because the father needed them to help him with the chicken farm.
That just sounds easy as fuck.
You
go to WWE, son. You go to WWE, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out raising these chickens, son. This is a chicken hawk. This is a chicken hawk right here, son.
Do you remember what was it? I think it was it was Mark Briscoe who was selling one of his teeth on eBay. And somebody he was selling his teeth that got knocked out during the match. He sold on eBay for Christmas.
Damn. Does he have them for money?
Just people buy shit, and it was just crazy. The Briscoes are awesome. A lot of people say that you hear a lot of wrestlers that leave. They're like, what do you see?
I grew up the Briscoe era because fuck, I'm old. I ain't gonna lie.
But I got you for your birthday. I got your fucking teeth.
I sold my tooth. I made 10,000 G's.
Yeah, those dudes are crazy. So it'd be cool.
This guy over here on eBay bought it, and his name was Danny. Danny the Man.
Nope.
He said nope.
They still have Marty Scurll is still there. They didn't in Ring of Honor. He's still under. He's one of the guys that they have under contract. But once that's up, he's going to AEW.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I mean, it's funny to hear when I was watching NXT and they had Keith Lee come out and then people do the whoop whoop,
I like Keith Lee,
and I'm like, yeah, but that all comes from Marty Scurll when he would do his thing with the hands and the flopping and stuff. But Keith Lee's awesome. There's another guy from Evolve that came up. So
I like Keith Lee. He's cool people. Mm-hmm. Like I said, he reminds me of the Dream. I know he likes the Dream a lot.
The Velveteen.
No, not Keith Lee. I'm talking about the Dream, dude. Dusty Rhodes.
Supposed
Oh,
Sit down, Danny.
My fault. Well, shit, it's late.
It's late.
We got 10
just
more hours.
started.
10 more hours.
We got 10 more hours, Danny.
All right, let's start this.
He said, my fault is late. I'm over here done. We ain't even got down to the predictions yet. He goes, it's late. You're Adam. We got 10 more hours to go.
I'm ready.
Keep going.
I'm ready.
You know what I mean? The reason why nobody else is on camera anymore. We used to be crazy. We had intro music, we had lights and cameras. That shit's all gone. People fall asleep.
Well, that's it for the news. Aside from where is Leo Rush? That's it.
He's still with them though, right? They didn't let him go.
They didn't let him go, but no one has seen him for like a while now.
There's a very simple answer to that question. He came to collect. So
he's getting checked, right?
He came to collect.
He's still paying him?
That's what his whole theme song.
No,
that should have gave them the sign that he was going to be a problem.
Maybe he went back to 205 because I know that's where he was.
They were going to send him to NXT, but I don't know what happened with that.
What I've heard, and a lot of and I think Meltzer talked about it, like his sources, they were saying that he gets paid. They all get paid. So how is he always broke? You know, and then we saw the numbers at the average, at least for even the NXT guys, that they were making from 80 to 100.
I think he does not manage his money well, and I think he has kids, and
even if you have kids, it's got to be poor money management, or maybe he's buying.
I was thinking 100,000 is a lot, even with kids.
Well, he posted a video.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I got kids. What?
He posted a video. Like WWE at it. And he said, maybe the fact of the matter is I've already made my choice. And then he goes right up to the camera. And he just says day 64, which is like the day that, he's still not working.
Uh-oh.
So he said he has a lot on his mind. He said a couple of things are for sure, and that he was born for this. He was made for this. Ever since he was a little kid, he dreamt of one day being on top, being that one person that everybody could look up to and say, I want to be just like that guy. I want to be just like him. He says that he thinks this and that, it's been 64 days since he's come to the conclusion to motivate. So he doesn't feel like he's motivated. He's not inspired, and he wants to give everybody out there in the world something to believe in and someone to believe in, but he just doesn't, feel that it's going to possibly happen. And he doesn't name WWE, but it doesn't exactly look like he is going to return to the WWE. And he does say that he is ready to show the world that no matter what obstacles you're given in the way and the circumstances you may be going through, that you can make it out and that you can achieve anything that you want to. And that, basically he's just waiting for that day for it to happen. And he doesn't exactly say he's leaving, but he doesn't exactly say that he's staying. And he just says that he has to make it out of this mess that he's in.
Well, that never give up. That sounds like he has been getting some advice from John Cena.
And now we can't see him.
Go on Nickelodeon for that shit. He's smarter than a fifth grader. He's a host. Yeah, he's
writing books.
And he's writing books. Yeah, Danny, you spoke with him.
I did. I spoke to him.
And he told you he was done with wrestling, right?
He basically didn't say I'm done with wrestling. What he did say is that he does not see himself returning for a while. And if he ever does return, he does not want to be, like the main guy on top. He feels that he's so far separated from WWE that he would basically have to start over.
Well, when he does come, we'll make sure to bring him on the show and we'll roast him. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You say you ain't coming back. You the master of the thugonomics? Because that's all I want to see. I missed the peanuts. Remember that? When he would throw the peanuts?
Yes.
He hold these nuts. That was awesome.
I like when he talked about he was going heel at that last pay-per-view he was on. When he came out as Thugonomics, he was like, "Yo, everybody want me to turn heel. I might as well do it right now." Everybody thought, "Oh, nope, that wasn't it. He didn't fucking turn heel. He turned shitty.
His heel. Yeah. He turned his heel."
Oh man, but
this shit was trash.
It was. All right.
So that's it with the news. You can do the outro, Adam.
All right. Don't put the finger there.
All right. It's time for the main event, if you will.
5 hours later.
Yes.
Okay, we're almost, don't pass out now, Dana. Don't
pass out.
Don't worry. This definitely won't take long.
we know. Shit. Tony always cracks jokes. I remember Tony did that one time too. He fell asleep. He came back. He saw shit running still. He was, what the hell is going on?
Oh yeah, it happens. But this is not. There's not like 20 matches on this card, so this definitely won't.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches.
I see 9 matches, and three of them are on the pre-show.
Oh, that's okay. All
Hey,
right.
So you got to discuss the pre-show.
Oh yeah.
See, there you go. I mean, all right. So what's who's on the pre-show? Because maybe mine.
So here we go. This is the Fyter Fest, which is taking place in Daytona Beach, Florida, at the Ocean Center, wherever the hell that's at. Pre-show 3 matches. So first matchup, we have Michael Nakazawa versus Alex Jabali in a hardcore match. So, any predictions as to who is going to win this match? How about you go first, Adam?
Oh man, Nakazawa, he's had some brutal matches in Japan. That's I mean, I'm expecting to see something brutal in this one. The other dude, if I remember right, he does like this crazy sunset flip from the outside ring. Like he was at the last show that they did, the Double or Nothing. So it all depends on how far they want to go with this hardcore. Because what does hardcore mean for AEW? We know what it means in WWE. It don't mean shit.
Blood.
So what does? Yeah, well, blood. It's got to be more than that. If they're kicking off the show with a hardcore match, come on now.
I think they're about to do some shit. I think they're pulling out them
exploding ring. You think we're gonna do fiberglass exploding ring? C4. We're gonna go that way because I mean,
barbed wire boards, probably burning tables. I mean, AEW said they willing to go there.
Yeah. And if you're using this, if you like you said, this is a kickoff, and if you're trying to get people, I mean, it's free, but I understand you still have to subscribe or you have to do an account. It didn't work for me when I tried to do it on that website, but they're trying to get people right to watch. If you show some crazy shit in a hardcore match, that'll get you clicks.
Oh yeah,
get you clicks
for sure, 100%. It's gonna get my click. I can
there you go.
That's just
there you go.
Click.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to see that shit.
And that's how you start the conversation on Twitter and stuff. People like, yo, you watching shit? What? Watching what? Watch this, bitch! Like I'm sending you links. Click it. You know. And then people start clicking, and then they watch it. And like, yo, how am I watching this for free? It's a kickoff. Then it goes to another free show for real. I don't know if it's for real, but click the link. Let's see. No, for real. Because now I'm hearing. I just clicked another link, and it was telling me that I do have to subscribe to something. So
it's like, spankbang.com subscription.
Right, exactly. So the pay-per-view is free, but you have to subscribe to something else to get it for free.
Well, you know, I love that they are offering this for free though. Like, you know, that start match, like a hardcore match is here. We're gonna start, you know, pre-show, start it off with one of the most dangerous things you could possibly fucking think of. And you know, if the Rhodes brothers is willing to give you blood, think of what everybody else is willing to give. You know, like what are they truly willing to give up? And
their life.
Yeah, amazing. Oh, their lives are on the line. You know, like that. You know, Kazawa in a death match for his life.
There will be blood.
There will be blood. There will be draws. There will be police
and a raffle at the end.
And then Vince will come out and say he owns AEW.
That's exactly. You know what? You want the show? I'll bring it to the network.
The WWE network.
Yeah.
You already know.
Shit, man. Imagine that. Oh my God. Who was it that said that? Vince Russo said that shit. That's right.
Oh, that they were in cahoots with each other.
Vince Russo.
He tried to put that shit out there.
He was like, they're in cahoots. He's like, you think that thing slipped about AEW on WWE? Nothing slips. Vince doesn't let anything go. They're working together. This is all a big scam. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, buddy. You're stretching it there. Oh, that would be crazy. That would be heartbreaking, but that would be crazy if they said, remember?
But then I would be kind of like eating crow. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess WWE can't put on a good show. They competition with themselves.
They fooled us. They fooled everybody. Like you just said it, Dana. You said, oh, they're going to do all this rebranding for Fox. This is a big, but no. See, now there's no point. We know they got TNT.
Now you know. Now you see
Not going down that rabbit hole.
When you break down the fact, you see how
we went to the moon, man. I know we went to the moon. Cut the bullshit. I've seen it. And Neil Armstrong, they did it. They did.
Oh shit! You don't want to have me put my tinfoil hat on.
Oh shit! The world ain't flat.
That's all.
It's round. I'm telling you. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Look, let's not. That's a whole different show. Y'all don't want to see that side of it. Y'all got to hide that shit. For real, I'm a true conspiracy theorist. Don't have me. I got so many conspiracies about Vince McMahon. You already know. Like let's not do.
I have one. I think Vince and Linda, they're not married. They probably got divorced years ago.
Oh, that's true. It's a business marriage. They're not together.
Yeah.
See, there you go. There you go.
Vince can't keep his hands off of the wrestlers and shit. The ladies, he keeps promising them shit.
Yeah, the female wrestlers. Although his obsession with people like Roman Reigns and how the wrestlers
big buff dudes.
Yeah. So that makes it questionable. Yes.
Sensitivity, but I still think that those female wrestlers, man, the way he gets tries to manipulate them and shit like that. Yep. Linda couldn't take it no more. She said, "You know what, Vince? Fuck you." You know what I'm saying? You can have that shit. I'm just gonna continue to get this cash. Have my pool boy Javier come bring me drinks as I chill. Like honestly,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, nuts.
So,
what's the
So Adam, who was your pick?
Don't matter at this point. It's too new. Do we really care? No, we just want to see a solid match for all of these.
Okay. So
I'll pick player number one. Let's go with Nakazawa.
Okay. So Dana, who was your pick?
Michael Nakazawa.
There you go.
There you go.
How about you, Michael?
I'm gonna take Michael Nakazawa.
And how about you, Dan the Man?
Nakazawa. For sure.
He's gonna knock somebody out. Just list that name, Nakazawa.
Yeah.
Your ass out.
Yes. So I also take
cheese grater.
Nakazawa.
Yes.
100%. So sounds good.
What's the next one?
So let's move on.
Three?
Yeah, it's three. It's two other ones. So we have
Double Nothing had two.
Right? Yeah, so I think there's only two buy-ins I see. Maybe I'm.
Perhaps this match was added. Some of this match, one of these other matches was added later.
Lay it on us.
We have Kylie Ray versus Leva Bates with Peter Avalon singles match. So Dana, who was your choice?
Well, if I remember Double or Nothing, Kylie Ray lost, and it would kind of be really nice if she won. I guess in the next pay-per-view. So this one, I'm gonna go with her.
I just realized something. Maybe they'll announce in this pay-per-view the whole scoring system. to win Lawson, because they didn't do that for Double or Nothing, and unless they're waiting for the TV deal. But then, yeah, that'll apply to what you just said. It would make sense for her to win. If not, who cares? She could lose all day. It's not going to make But if they announce, hey, we're kicking off this whole new system because these people are members of all the current roster, then it's like, okay, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So Adam, who was your pick?
Doesn't matter. Two. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter. I just want to see a good match. That's it. Okay. That's it. I just want to see a good match with this one. These are ladies that have wrestled around the world. I'm excited for them to see them shine. I'm kind of upset that Awesome Kong is not on this card. To that, I really thought she's probably. She's right there. How do you not put her on? I mean, you got Moxley and stuff over here and Cody, but
Jericho's not on this card either. Go.
She may not be on the card, but she could easily make an appearance.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was the last time. She wasn't on that card either. And
right. So there you go. Plus, who knows with the whole
back-to-back surprises? So then it's no longer a surprise. Like you're working here, right?
I mean, isn't the plan to have surprises at some of these other events as well, like the ones where it's actually you have to pay to watch? Because this is a free stream here. Everybody can watch this.
Right.
Well, the other one is free too. That's what I'm saying. This whole event is free. This pay-per-view is supposed to be free.
Yeah.
But all out is not going to be free though.
No, the feast of the Fyter Feast is free.
Fyter Fest.
Fyter Feast.
Like a dirty movie.
That would be a good movie. Let me look that one up.
Right.
Sounds like some amateur skin flick. The feeder
man, look, man, link me, dude. When you get it, link me, bro.
Party in the pants.
Well, the thing with Awesome Kong is that she's doing other movies as well. So she is a free agent. She is able to pop in and out. But right now, she has other movies.
Yeah, I think once you see the actual show on TV, you'll have a better idea of who will be fully committed to the show on a full-time basis and who will make appearances.
I'll be right back.
Stand-up comic.
Yeah.
She's a stand-up comic.
Yeah, she's doing the whole Ziggler thing. She wants to be a stand-up comic now, so she's
well, hopefully she's doing a better job than Ziggler.
Yeah, I've seen Ziggler stand up. That wasn't funny. I've seen Mick Foley stand up. That wasn't funny.
Whoa!
No, Mick Foley's. He's got good stories, but they're not funny. It's not something I would say, "Oh my god, I can't wait to get it." I was cracking up. No, it did not do that.
Well, you just have to remember one thing though. When you mentioned Dolph Ziggler, the joke is that he loses every match. So that is a funny punchline, which I think I find more entertaining than his actual stand-up comedy. So
I don't like stand-up comedy.
So Michael, who was your pick for this match?
Who do we have again? Kylie Rose and who else?
Kylie Rose and Leva Bates with Peter Avalon.
I must say Kylie Rose.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
And I think Dan the man stepped away, I believe.
Yeah, Dan stepped away.
All right, so I think I know who his pick was going to be though.
He's looking at some Ricochet pictures. That's what he's doing.
Whoa!
No. He ran to the bathroom.
Man, no.
Found those pictures. I don't know. Let me see. I'm looking.
Not safe. Not.
All hands on deck.
All right, I'm back.
Dan with the shade.
So Dan the man.
You said you're back, Dan?
I'm back.
Yo, she said you found those Ricochet pictures.
That was quick. Whoa! You want to go look at the Ricochet pictures and do some sexual healing.
Oh my god.
Well. With all due respect.
Yeah. I was like, damn, that's a quickie there, Dan. If you did that.
She said.
Way too fast.
No such thing, man. No such thing. When you pay for
Look, I don't have time to light a candle, okay?
Bam, thank you, bam. After he's done, he's like, "Who's next?"
Oh my god.
So Dan the man, we're not going to talk about your personal business and what took place, but I do have to ask, who do you have for this match? The Kylie Ray versus Leva Bates.
Kylie Ray.
Okay, so I think we all chose Kylie Ray. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, well, no, Adam said it doesn't matter who wins. So
yeah, he said he wants the match to be good.
Yeah. I'm at the point with some of these that I just want to see the quality of matches, because some of them I remember were in Impact. A lot of these girls and stuff that they had before.
So,
I remember seeing them in Impact Wrestling.
So let's move on to the other pre-show match, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a good match because I've heard a lot about these teams, but I have not seen them in action. We have the Best Friends, which is Chuck Taylor and Trent Berea, versus SoCal Uncensored, which is Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, versus Private Party. Isaiah
this match
Cassidy.
is gonna be dope as shit.
Yeah. On a hell of a match.
The guy missing. There's a guy missing.
Wait, you said Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn?
No, there's somebody missing in this match from SoCal.
Oh, he's in another match for himself. I knew.
That's right. Yeah, Christopher Dane, Fallen Angel.
Yeah, he's in his own
match.
Yeah, he got his own match.
Okay.
So that now it is worth mentioning that the winners of this match will advance to. Well, they will get an opportunity at the first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship tournament. So, which team do you guys have winning this? I'll go to you first, Mike.
I'm gonna say SCU, man. I like Kazarian and the other dude.
I'm still surprised Kazarian's pulling this off all these years later.
I know, man. Can you believe that?
Yeah, man, he's flipping and flopping. I'm like, yo, you can
He's flipping and flopping.
Yeah, that dude is cold, man. He been the shit forever.
Long time. It's
when people don't pick up on it, man. It's like he's been the shit, dude.
Yup.
Been there.
Oh yes. So, how about you, Dan? Who was your pick?
I'm gonna go Private Party. I think they're gonna sneak. I think they're gonna sneak that shit. I think they're gonna sneak it in. I think Private Party just gonna come in and be like,
"He didn't hear me, Dana.
He didn't."
What'd he say? What you say, man?
I say that what you did in the bathroom, the Private Party.
Here we go.
It's fucking disgusting.
Stop it, guys. All hands on deck. Stop.
Look, hashtag me too. Now I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Private Party.
Private Party. Taking it. Shut up, Big Mike.
So who was your pick, Dana?
I'm going with the Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers.
Because if you remember
Smash
Double or
Bros.
Nothing, the Smash Bros came in, and we're gonna have a continued storyline. So I see them. It doesn't matter who wins because they're gonna ultimately come and cause a DQ.
And destroy everybody. You think that's what's gonna happen? That whole crew is gonna come in.
Yeah, and it's gonna create chaos, and people want chaos.
Yeah.
Well, that would definitely get people talking.
Yes.
But then they have to change it. I thought they couldn't use Super Smash Bros. Anymore because of the Nintendo shit.
Well, it was also known as the Dark Order, remember?
Yeah, the Dark Order. Okay. All right.
So there you go.
So who's your pick, Adam?
Oh, wait. Oh, for this one? Oh, damn, I would probably go with it's too easy to go with the SoCal because they should win, but Chuck, man, the Best Friends, they need a win.
So the best friends to the end. The best friends to the end.
Before this happened,
It sounds dirty.
before it's okay.
Best friends to the end.
Man, there's nothing wrong doing a double Dutch rudder. So
Yeah, come on.
that's what friends are for. So
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
So he got now. He sound like he got a private party. Adam do, man. So like
We can joke all we want about this because I'm editing this out. So all the jokes we want.
This show about to be 12 minutes long. He's edit out all the bullshit.
15-hour show, 30 minutes long. He lost it. He lost it. There you go, man. For watching.
Yeah.
All
right. So
so I think the best friends, because right before this happened, the best friends when they were over at what you call it? Oh man, Gorilla. Oh, fuck! I forgot the name. I'm blanking out. But there's another Gorilla promotion, and they were talks that they were going to break up. That was a storyline that was going on. They were going to break up. So I'm glad that didn't happen. It looks like they're just going to keep them together as a crew. It's a good gimmick that they have. I like it.
They're best friends.
Yeah, best friends.
Yeah, best friends.
That's it. High fiving all the way to the bank. The simplest gimmick. Think about it. Go to Vince. Can you imagine that? Go to Vince. All right, so let's see. What do you got? We're just best friends, man. Like, get out of my office. I got enough.
You got a friend to me.
Yeah,
like that's
right.
You don't have anything. Do you spit green mist? Come on. Wait, what do you do?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
We're just best friends.
Just best friends.
All right, so let's move on to the main card here because this is where it gets a little interesting. So first up, we have Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin in a singles match.
Shit,
Ooh,
I gotta start.
okay.
I gotta start this one.
Okay, go ahead, Adam.
Because for those who don't know, hopefully they know with Darby Allin, he's crazy. That fool is crazy. That's another wild one. That one we can see on the Viceland, the Wrestler series. He's mentioned in the hardcore one, and he's mentioned in another one. I think it was in for Evolve. He's in Evolve, that promotion. And that's where Keith Lee and a few other people were from. So he's another one to watch out for. And I'm glad that he's here because if anything, this is telling us at least either they want to pick him up or he has been picked up. The guy can go. Now it depends on how crazy they're gonna go. Because Cody, I don't know if he ever goes that crazy, but hey,
Cody said he's willing to do it all though. Cody said that whatever he's willing to adapt to any style, any suggestion. So
yeah, Darby Allin, if anybody Googles him, he's crazy. He's had some crazy matches. In fact, even in that one that we saw, he had a shovel stuck in him.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's like a shovel got stuck in his arm, and it was gushing blood and all this shit. He's crazy. Dude's crazy. So, he likes pain. That was one of the things that he talked about.
Him. Yeah, he's crazy.
That's him. The one
dude's crazy.
Doing all that craziness. Yeah, and so he's all about just going over the top. He likes the pain. He likes all the doing the extreme stuff. He's all about it. So he's basically a younger version of a Mick Foley, that type, but not all. He's a chiseled looking dude. He's just crazy. So anyway, it's gonna be interesting to see that match. Now it's not a hardcore match. So.
Yeah, exactly. They have a hardcore match. And they have another match that is going to get pretty violent, which I'm going to get into here in a little while.
So it's not there. So maybe this is just going to be in-ring stuff. We're not going to see any craziness go on. Who knows? But he could still work in the ring. He's solid in the ring also. Either way, it's going to be a solid match. But again, man, see, this is what we talked about before about the win and losses and all that shit.
Oh, here we go.
It's his son and stuff. Well, here's another executive who's also a wrestler. What do you do? Is Cody gonna win this?
No.
You think
yes.
He's gonna win?
Yes. Cody's winning it. Yes, 100%.
Yes. You have to remember something, Adam, from Double or Nothing. Cody Rhodes is perceiving himself as Triple H based on what we saw from that last pay-per-view. So no.
So
I think if he's going to take a loss, it's going to be to someone else. But I don't know if this is the match.
So
I think this is his debut. Isn't this his debut in?
Yeah, AEW. If he's here, that's the shit we don't know. They haven't really listed an official roster of people that they've signed. We see people working these shows, but we don't know if they're fully with AEW or they just paid for the appearance type of thing. So
would be interesting. I still think Cody winning it. Cody's taking it, but I think that what they're going to do is they're going to make him look really strong. So they're gonna definitely make Darby like hang in there. It's not gonna be like a fucking wash. It's gonna be.
Oh, they're gonna make him look good, Darby. If they let him pull all his craziness, whether it's
if they let him pull some of those moves off, and I know Cody will, because Cody's a good worker. Mm-hmm. It should look amazing. Him losing, like it should still look good. Yeah.
So, damn, this is what I'm talking about. It really doesn't matter who wins, but I'm surprised. I want Darby to win this. I go with Darby. Okay, why not?
Okay. How about you, Dana?
Darby pulls out a C4 and everyone dies.
Oh shit!
He holds him and he says, "Fuck AEW, WWE for life." Boom.
There you go. So I'm going with Darby for the simple fact that you guys did say the whole Triple H. So if Cody is trying to distance himself so much from WWE, then I don't see him winning all these matches. It just doesn't make any sense. And plus, we have the big match coming up with him and his brother. That's the tag match. So I just see him not winning this, Darby excelling, and maybe it might lead to him officially signing if he hasn't done so already.
Well,
but either way, the match is going to be good.
Well, apparently, according to what I was looking at, he is already signed to All Elite Wrestling.
Then there you go. He's already signed, and he's going to make a big debut. He's going to kill Cody, and that's it.
I think this goes back to what Adam said. It's all about that win-loss, and I think that those stats right there become a restriction, and I think that may prove negatively towards Darby. But just like Adam said, also the match should still be like this amazing thing. It should be super dramatic. We know what Darby can do. We know he's an insane bastard. I can see him trying to pull some insane stuff. So I still think, even though Darby's going down, I still think it's going to be freaking amazing for sure.
There you go. And how about you, Michael?
I'm going to go with Cody. I think he's going to put on a hell of a match, and maybe a surprise. We'll see Dusty come out and help.
To help him with a sledgehammer. He's going to slap the sledgehammer. Like, yeah, use this. Like,
sledgehammer.
Whoa. That's some Triple H shit. Yeah.
Oh, like, what are you doing?
Comes down to help.
Claiming that shit.
Virgil comes out. He's like, "I'm here." And he's like, Virgil already he's an asshole too.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yes.
He is a terrible, sad man. Terrible, sad man.
Okay.
All right. What's it next?
The next match, we have a three-way match.
Whoa, that's a different
three-way.
Whoa.
Yes,
that sounds like a private party there.
Man, sign me up.
Oh,
sign me up.
So we'll hear what you guys think of this. We have Yuka Sakazawa versus Raihu versus Nyla Rose.
Nyla.
All right, so
I thought that was Rhino, but okay.
You said wait, Rhino?
No, Raiho. It's
Raiho.
R-I-H-O.
Well,
What'd you call me?
Who's the hoe?
Rhino, Riho.
I'm not sure how you pronounce the name.
I don't know either.
R-I-H-O. R-I-H-O.
All I know is she's a hoe.
Whoa. Hold on. We gotta make sure.
Edit. Look, we need to edit.
We're gonna keep adding up tonight.
Boy.
But no. So Danny, you said Nyla Rose. So
But Nyla scares me. But like, yeah, no, because like here's the thing, she's really strong, and I would rather much see her go against Awesome Kong. So in my fantasy, can like Awesome Kong come in and like just beat everyone, and then her and Nyla go into it?
Well, they very well could be saving that for lately for any of these other pay-per-views or TV.
Mm-hmm.
Now Nyla Rose is
she's a larger, Amazon type crazy looking woman.
but I mean she's the transgender though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean I have nothing against it. I was asking.
Wait, she is?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's transgender.
Yes.
She now, but yes, she used to be a man.
Oh,
She
okay.
I'm like,
Nice.
I mean, I know a lot of people are on the internet, up in arms about, she's in the women's division and wrestling women when they think that she should be wrestling guys.
Yeah, and who was it? It was Joe Rogan that brought it up. He was like, it really comes down to, it's not so much, you can do all the other changes and the cosmetics and stuff like that, but it's the muscle density.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's a bigger person.
Just can't change. Yeah, she's thicker. It's just the way it is. Men are just thicker. So at least most men. So I don't know. Whatever. Let's see what happens. It's not. There is a predetermined, you know what I mean? So it's not like she's just kicking everyone's asses. Like, oh, that's because she's a dude. No. So she's cheating.
I'm like,
but you know what? The flyers and catchers, the other two ladies are the flyers. She's going to be the catcher.
whoa. After dark. Let's go.
To make a triple threat fun, then you make it a 4-way, and maybe Awesome Kong jumps in.
Being derailed so terribly.
Don't worry.
Suddenly, I support this.
3 is a video and 4 is a movie. So
it's like, can I get it at 1080p at 60 FPS or no?
Go.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Now, the thing is, did she wrestle? Did she ever wrestle as her when she was a man before she did the?
Oh yeah.
What was her name before when she was a man?
Hold on, I have to Google it up.
But no, so Dana, you said Nyla Rose is your pick, correct?
Nyla Rose and Awesome Kong are my pick.
Okay, so Adam, who's your pick?
The match? I love it. That's great. Like, you think she'll run in and she'll win?
Yep.
so Adam, who's your pick?
Oh shit! I just saw her college picture, his college picture, when he did college wrestling.
It's her.
It's her. It's always been her.
It's her.
Okay, it's her. I think, you know what? Give her the push. Give her the push. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm just saying. I'm trying to be informative. Do my part. Look her up. Get some info. I'm getting other pictures. That's all I'm saying. It's
right.
Up with what I'm looking at. So I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay. So you know what? Why not? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I like her look. She has like this badass Amazon crazy look. So
you said Nyla Rose as well.
Yeah. I go.
All right. So Michael, who would you?
I'm gonna go Nyla Rose winning it, and maybe this will set up a match between Awesome Kong and her.
Yeah, because as I believe Dana or it was Adam mentioned earlier, Awesome Kong could still show up even though she's not on this card. So
we all think that she's
not
part of the card because it just makes sense. I mean, that was a big surprise at Double or Nothing, and then to exclude her from any match at this show, unless it's because she's
Well,
got.
Chris Jericho is not in any match.
No. Nobody wants that. No. There's a big difference.
100% agree.
Big difference there. He needs a big hype. He needs all this other fanfare around him. He's on that type of level. Awesome Khan don't need that. She needs to come out and kick ass.
See. So that right there is a great way to describe his absence, because I think in reality, yes, he does need the time to work on his whatever's going on in his personal life. He needs to fix that instead of worrying about being on this card. So
he's got a lot of, it always amazing. Think about it. Wait, he has a podcast network. He has a fan that he tours around the world with. He's got all these other side projects that he's always working on, and he's got this AEW, and he has a family, and he's got mistresses. He's got a lot. I was like, how does this man juggle all of this without dropping some of them or mixing? And obviously, we're seeing some of that in the personal life. Some of those get dropped, but still, I mean, he's making shows. He's trying. What was it that he gave that when he gave that talk on his podcast with Tony Khan about how he flew him out to his show? Remember he gave him the plane, or he paid for the flight because he was performing with Fozzy in Tokyo, and he had to go to Saudi Arabia, and Tony Khan actually paid for the flight or some craziness that links him there, but then also flew him to Texas to meet up with him to talk about the AEW. I don't know, some craziness, but I know he's all over the world. He's busy. He's doing a lot of shit. Yeah. So I just don't know how he finds the time to do all that. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll see about that. Dan the Man, who is your pick?
I'm going Riho.
There you go. See, so I'm glad that there was somebody that chose another person other than.
Why you gotta be like that?
We can't like who we like. She's basically new. There could be a point where they're trying to say, hey, even if you're new, you still can get in the win-loss bracket. And and I think I'm gonna double down on what Dana said. I think Awesome Kong is gonna come out. Referee's gonna be down. Awesome Kong comes out, knocks out Nyla Rose. Riho pins Yuka for the win and gets that shot. That's what I think.
Now, you got to remember Gail Kim. Remember Gail Kim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is she officially still retired, or?
Yeah.
Or did she? Yeah, I know she did Impact, but then she went back, and then I wasn't sure.
She gave that huge interview.
Yeah. I mean, she would be a cool addition, just to have some of that experience, in there. I don't know.
For sure. But she's done. She said she's over it.
Yeah. I like that. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next match. Because these other next couple matches, I absolutely will have a lot to say about some of these. Christopher Daniels versus SEMA. Singles match.
Love Christopher Daniels for sure.
He has to. It's about that time. That's Spider-Man. Come on now. The guy was in the ring with Macho Man, even if it was just in the movies. He was still, it's Spider-Man. So I think this is his comeuppance right now.
All right, so Adam and Dan, you both say Christopher Daniels.
100% Christopher Daniels. Even though SEMA is dope, but Christopher Daniels legendary.
And the fact that he's in a singles match when he's part of the SoCal group shows that they're trying to give him a push, a singles push.
And he's still amazing. He's still fucking amazing. I cannot believe how good he still is. It's like, damn, after all this time, you haven't lost a beat. He's still dope.
And he's older now. And
he's getting up there.
Yeah, because I remember, in fact, here's another one talking about when we talk about contracts and stuff with Ring of Honor. He was their champ, and he's still working at Universal Studios. Doing that type of stuff.
Damn.
Yeah. It's the money just wasn't there. So I hope everything's working. I hope he's getting paid from this. I hope this is his time.
Yeah.
Well, AEW said they pay their dues though. Like, you know, I think Christopher Daniels, this is probably the most comfortable he's ever been. Like, you can tell even in the last pay-per-view, it was almost like he fits there. You know, like this is something that where he can kind of expand his own brand. He can take the brand however he wants it. He can kind of mold and shape it to things that he was kind of restricted to do before. Especially, I saw him do a lot more high flying, a lot more. Like he's definitely more open to do more work in the ring now, more than ever, which is amazing because he was already a great worker. So, you know, for sure, Christopher Daniels, 100%.
I think it helps joining a promotion where it's not just people hiring you to fill up the roster. It's people that know you and be like, yo, we know how you work. We know what you can do. Go do that. You know, don't worry about it. We just need you to do you.
And what you do best.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm sure that helps out a lot and that eases tensions, you know, so he can go out there and have fun.
They match him up with a lot of these new dudes, and you would think, you know, sometimes when you match kind of like a veteran, I guess we could call him a veteran now. Yeah, for sure. You know, and with these new dudes, you always kind of get that there's something off. But, you know, like the way they're doing it in AEW is so good because they're kind of matching types. They're like, okay, this guy, we're going to put two amazing workers in the ring and have them debut, you know, their beef or whatever they planned on writing for these two guys. And that's kind of what they're doing with him and Seema. So, you know, I think this match will probably maybe steal the show. It depends on how they do it. Because I feel like they're gonna let them just do what the fuck they want to do, and it's gonna be so seriously.
Well, I do have a comment to make, which is similar before another match. I'm gonna save that for when we get to that match.
Doesn't AEW have different rules? Like I know they added a 20 count outside and maybe some other things because I'm wondering if there's more flexibility for them to get crazy without making it seem like it's a gimmicked match, you know, like a different match type. I think they have some different rules.
I think there are some rope break rules, right? As well as out and out, ring out.
He's been ring out and with tagging if you had a partner. They added some of their own little rules. Who knows? But it should be.
I think it's longer time for the tag partner to be in the ring and all that stuff too.
Yeah. It's like a 10 count or 20 count for when they jump.
20 count.
That way they can do their tag team moves and all that stuff.
I love that. That's good. Because I mean, it's like that's what you want in wrestling. You don't want super locked down ESPN rules. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking wrestling. It's like I want to see two tag teams take 20 minutes before they make another tag, fight each other, set up double moves. Let's go outside the ring, then bring it back in for the finale. Like that's what I like. You know.
Sure. Remember when WCW had that no over the top rule? I'm like, what the hell? How do you do this?
Dude, that was terrible, man. It's like, what's that?
Over the top rope, really?
Over the top.
Like, okay, well then ain't no Royal Rumbles then or none of that. You know, like I never understood what that was. But wasn't that when they tried to be like they were actually trying to be like real sports at that time? Remember they were trying to.
It was definitely early on before the whole Bischoff going crazy.
Yeah, the whole Bischoff thing. They were trying to say like they were actually real, like they had real rules and real shit. And it's like. No,
they were getting reckless. They were trying to keep it the old school way, just keep it in the ring, not wrestling and stuff.
It's like, nah, that ain't gonna work nowadays. We need to see shit flying. I want to see flips. I want to see all of that shit.
Shit, if you think about it, remember Vince did that too with the cruiserweights when they had a cruiserweight division disbanded.
Yeah.
He was like, "Man,"
which was idiotic because cruiserweights was like one of their best draws. Like I just did not understand that. But
from what they said, it was because of the injuries. Because remember they had Evan Bourne? Remember he was that big star.
Yes.
Paul London, who wound up in Lucha Underground. Then they had.
But I feel like that's just the nature of the job. Like they should get hazard pay. Like pay them hazard pay. They know they about to get hurt, but this is the best part of the fucking. I mean, seriously, because if a motherfucker get hurt, they get hazard pay make you feel a lot better sitting on the couch when you got $450,000. I won't feel too bad. I won't be feeling like Ryback right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll be feeling good. Like,
and only that, now you got everybody like Charlotte Flair. Everybody's doing crazy high flying moonsaults from the top turnbuckle out of the ring.
Heavy machinery. Did they try it?
Yeah, that's right.
And sometimes Nia Jax can't even catch these people. And it is what it is, right? I'm sure they're getting the check.
Who's Nia Jax? We haven't seen her forever.
Injured.
Yeah, she's injured. Yeah,
she'll be back. She'll be
back to lose to fucking Alexa Bliss.
We talking about conspiracies. I think they took her out. I think some of the girls that were tired of getting beat up by her and her messing them spots, and they purposely took her out.
Oh.
That's what I think.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
Right, so wait. So Michael, who was your pick?
I'm gonna go with Christopher Daniels.
Yeah,
Angel.
Of course, yes. And Dana.
Christopher Daniels, he's still alive.
I know. It's like I think that's what it is for me. It's like, God damn, Christopher Daniels still here? Shit.
He's not that old though.
No, I know he's not that old, but that dude does some crazy shit, man.
I
So
mean,
it's like
Christopher Daniels.
I'd say he's probably about the same age as AJ or close.
But
no, I mean Christopher Daniels
old.
still good, man. He's still good. He's still got some years left in him.
Who?
Christopher Daniels. He still got some
Yeah,
years
yeah.
left.
I'm not saying he don't. I'm saying I'm sure him and AJ are about the same age though.
That would be a dope ass match. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels.
Well, we got that match already.
We already had that match.
it's back in
We
Impact.
had that.
Oh, that's right. Impact did have that. Oh shit!
He's 49.
I literally erased Impact from my fucking brain.
Yeah.
That's your
Daniels is
fault.
49.
It sounds like it didn't make an impact. So
It was fantastic.
you said
It was
you
a
forgot about it.
fantastic match.
That was on the X Division for the X Division.
Yeah.
Okay. It's coming back to me now.
It
That's
was a
right.
hell of a match.
Damn.
Daniel is 49. AJ is 42.
I said that.
Yeah, see that's a lot. They got a lot of time.
Yeah, but AJ's kind of getting slow.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
What?
That match yeah, with Ricochet was awesome. Don't say
They don't want none.
Yeah, that shit
They
was
don't
dope.
want
I mean, AJ's my boy. I mean, he is the face of WWE right now to me. But I mean, yeah, he said himself he's not as young as he used to be anymore. He can't do all these high flying moves as much as he used to.
Yeah, I wish they would have signed him a lot sooner than they did. But that's
Did he ever work? I could have swore he did work with WWE.
He did. He worked with WWE when he was like back in his like younger career.
Yeah, young with his short hair.
Yeah, he had like short hair, and they let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they let him go.
Oh, did you guys see that video? It was out for a while ago, but
Kenny?
Ciampa, remember that where he was when he first signed with WWE and he was getting tossed around and shit as a lawyer.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
I'm gonna find that. Who was it? Somebody was tossing him around like a rag doll.
really?
Yeah, when they signed him, and he was a lawyer for some shit, man. Who was it?
IRS, right?
Bill DeMonte.
IRS. Yeah, IRS. Yes, IRS.
You talking about Erwin R. Shyster?
Or when I say so, yeah, Tommaso Ciampa got signed a long time ago. That's how far back his connection goes with WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he looks old. as shit,
Oh, I need to
with that
tuck
beard.
my age in. Oh shit.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He looks a lot different than he looked before now.
Yeah. The beard
and everything else.
the Kratos.
Wow.
The Kratos beard.
Yeah, he got that Kratos beard.
He does. He's got the Kratos beard.
Boy.
When he comes back, he needs to start saying that. Boy.
Boy.
19. Yeah, so Christopher Daniels was
Hey,
with
look at
1998 to 2001.
Hey, look at what's his name? His tag team partner. And go, boy.
Boy.
All right, let's move on now to the next match. This match, I'm very curious to hear what the pick is going to be, and I think maybe shock some of you guys, but we'll see. We have a four-way match. Okay, Adam Page versus Jimmy Havoc versus Jungle Boy versus MJF. So, I think Mike will go with you first.
I'm gonna go with Adam Page because I mean he already started to Double or Nothing or not double, All In or whatever the fuck it's called off really good, and I think they're going to continue with that story and give him the belt.
Okay, that's good. How about you, Dana? Who was your pick?
I am going with Hangman.
Oh, okay.
Adam Page.
Okay. How about you, Dan the Man? Who was your pick?
Jimmy Havoc.
Okay.
Ow.
Havoc. He goes because listen, man. You gotta understand, man, this ain't WWE, man. You gotta think about it like they care. So they may give their other people a chance. I think Jimmy Havoc could sneak it. I think he can sneak it.
I think that's a good explanation. My pick is MJF because it's obvious that they from Double or Nothing. It's obvious that they have plans for this guy because everybody who I had spoken to after they started it, they were talking about this guy in the character.
He's good on the mic. He's definitely good. On
the mic. So the way I see it, Adam Page already has a title shot, so he doesn't need to win this match per se, in my mind. But I would say if you're going to use this as an opportunity to build another person, I say MJF is somebody who I would consider would win this match. But we'll see because it can go in any direction, and same thing for Jimmy Havoc as well. But Adam, who was your pick?
Jungle Boy.
Oh, really?
Oh, right there. That's the guy. Remember his dad, the 90210 guy that just passed away.
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry. That's his dad.
Yeah, that Luke Perry is his dad.
Yeah. And you go to all the shows with him.
You gotta tuck your age back in now, Dan.
Oh shit! I gotta tuck my age in.
That's why it was a big deal when they signed Jungle Boy because they're like, "Oh wow, he's the youngest guy on this crew that they picked up so far." So I think, and we saw him. He popped in a little bit over at the Double or Nothing. He's a guy, if you didn't see, with all the hair, the crazy hair,
right?
Yeah,
really hair. So I have a feeling he's gonna get a push, sort of like what you guys said. It's like Paige, he's already set up for a title. MJF, he's already over. Jimmy Havoc is gonna be just the chaos man because he left. He's violent. That's another death match. Super violent. Remember, if you remember the Battle Royal, he came into the ring with the staple gun and started stapling everyone's head in the match. So he's gonna be that crazy guy in this 4-way. But again, this is what I'm saying about different rules because they're not saying any rules on these. We know the other ones they list as death matches, but maybe there's no rules into these. There's got to be some stipulations because you don't put someone like Havoc in a match like this unless you want him to get crazy.
I want some craziness. I mean, you said yourself there, Adam. You want to see craziness.
Yeah, I want to see some craziness, and they're not stupid. That's why AEW picked up some of these guys.
I want to see blood on the
Darby and stuff. Come on now, you're bringing these guys in for a reason. So I see that going on, but I think at the end, Jungle Boy's going to win, and he's going to get that push as the youth, the young guy, and he's a good-looking kid. So if they want to put him up on posters and shit, it works out.
I mean, he actually is a good worker too. So it's like I can see that.
Wait, hold on. What did you say, Dana?
He looks like a fetus. So darn young. My mother doesn't even watch wrestling, and she saw him. She's like, "That's a uterus. He just came out the uterus."
Damn.
But
I do think you'll eventually have a story where he does get the belt, and then he could say have a heartfelt tribute to his dad, or some emotional thing there, but not yet.
They're not going to do that, but I think he's going to get the push. But I don't see no belt or anything. They can't say that for the TV show when they're trying to get the insight stuff, because a lot of people don't know that his dad was that actor and he passed away recently. Stroke.
Yeah, that was a very sad, unexpected turn of events for that situation. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next match. And to quote what Dan said earlier, because he said there's a match that will steal the show, I think this is the one where it's going to be violent, where it's going to be balls out. I'm talking, of course, about Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela in a non-sanctioned match.
They might as well say hardcore then, right? I mean, come
You're
on.
right.
No. They said
the match.
non-sanctioned. So what's the difference between non-sanctioned and a hardcore match?
There
That's
is
just no rules.
There's no rules. You can be pinned anywhere. You can go outside, get pinned. It's just nothing holding them back. This is the one that's going to get bloody.
That's it. They will.
Yeah. So and I've heard that this is going to be a lot more violent than the Japan match that Moxley had.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Juice. He's a good worker, but he's not crazy like Joey is. Joey is nuts. Joey showed that when he had match at All In. Compared to All In, he was throwing himself off the top of ladders, jumping out of the ring. He was jumping off the stage. He was going nuts. So this is going to be a madness match. They're going to steal the show. I think.
Okay, so Adam, who's your pick?
Oh, shit, man, I don't want to do this. I want Joey Janela. I don't want what we've seen time and time again. Big name WWE stars leave, go to other promotions, and fucking win nonstop for a few months. I don't want to do that shit. And right now, that's what Moxley's on right now.
Yeah,
that win streak. If this is like what you said, all falls count anywhere and all kinds of anything can go. He could just try to do a certain spot, screw up, fall, knock himself out, and then they could just call it that way. You know what I mean? And everybody be like, okay, it wasn't really a match. It was a brutal fight, and he lost. Can't win them all.
Well, Moxley, the win streak is not going to apply to everything because he is not going to win the G1 tournament. I mean, and I don't know if he's going to drop that belt before they go to the TV. I mean, I don't know how that whole thing works with that process.
Well, he said from his own words that once he starts in October, he's exclusive to them, to AEW. But right now, he's free willy. He can go anywhere, and that's what he's doing. He's having fun. He's going to be wrestling all these other shows. So I'm assuming he will drop it before October.
Okay. All right. So you have Joey Janela.
I want to go with Joey Janela. He lost his last match that he was on their show, so he needs to win one. And this will be a good way to help someone get over with fans. Because think about it. We know Joey Janela because we watch the AEW shows and there's some other stuff out there. But if they're bringing in more fans, like former WWE fans or people that want to jump in because of the hype of what's happening, they just know Moxley.
Yeah.
So and like he said, he's openly said that he wants to help other guys get big. He wants to help make new stars. It's not all about him. So if that's the case, then help Joey get over. And what better way than to do that than have him win in this violent match?
Yeah, well, there you go. That's very good explanation. How about you, Dan the Man?
I am going John Moxley, and the reason why I say this, and I'm just doubling down on what Adam said, is because he is a WWE dude. He is pretty big. It's not like he's like an old school dude that came back. Was a current WWE dude, like that left and was like, fuck y'all, and came over to AEW. And how Vince held him back on some of that violent stuff. Remember, he came out with like a chainsaw and all this stuff, and Vince thought that was a little too extreme. And
with what's his name? With Terry Funk, remember?
Yeah. Well, I love Terry Funk too, but and that's the thing. And I think that John Moxley is that type of dude that wants to do those crazy, gut-wrenching, I can't believe this shit is being filmed ass matches. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants this stuff. He wants tacks. He wants glass. He wants blood. He wants to grate somebody's face. That's the type of stuff that he wants to do. That's why this match is that. He basically gave both of these guys what they wanted, which is to give you a death match light. They want to give you that. They want to give you that where you get the blood, you get the squeamish, you get the you get those reactions, and that's exactly what they want. But I think they're going to give it to John just because honestly that's what it is. He's a bigger star than Janela, and even though I like Joey, he's an insane bastard, but John Moxley is going to win it. That's what's going to happen. He's going to win it. It's just. I'm sorry, it sucks that it's like that, but that's what he's doing. He's winning.
In my fantasy, and I don't think it's going to happen only because recently I heard about to do it. So,
fantasy.
It's a fantasy. These are things that I dream about. That's not good.
Oh,
Sammy Callahan.
Hold on, let me go grab the lotion. I'll be right back.
We're going to private party as well.
Sammy Callahan, who is the tag team partner over in CCW, and then after they had some massive feuds. Sammy Callahan's another one who's crazy, super violent, does all this crazy blood matches, did a lot of stuff over in Lucha Underground also, but he's over in Impact. I could see him jumping in on this, interfering in some way, but recently the Impact owners said that none of their talent are allowed to work AEW shows, and that came out because Cage supposedly said that he was supposed to pop up at Double or Nothing, and while he was backstage he received a call and he said no, you can't do this show. He said, but I'm allowed to work other indie shows and stuff. Yeah, but this they don't want. So Impact sees the AEW as a serious threat, and he said right there, so he was backstage and he said he couldn't even come out. There was something he was supposed to come out, and so there goes that. But I really wanted to, if there was anything going on with this match to spice it up or to cause an interference where Moxie would lose, it would be an old rival, and I would say Sammy. But that's in my fantasy, and then that's a zoom in.
Perhaps one day, perhaps one day that will happen. How about
It'll
you?
Actually be awesome. Kong, she'll come in and interrupt.
That certainly would be unexpected for that particular match. And then Moxley's going to think about when he was in WWE and got interrupted by Nia Jax.
Right.
She threw him out of the Rumble, remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. So Dana, who was your pick for this match?
Oh, sweet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Dana.
She got that 2 o'clock feeling.
We got 5 more hours, Dana. Come on, what are you doing?
I didn't know I was muted. Calm down. I didn't know I was muted. I'm still awake. Okay. Go back in the bathroom, Dan.
Damn.
Oh
shit.
Oh, she's like,
I'll be right back.
I pick a concussion. Concussion wins.
Yeah. You said who?
A concussion.
A concussion wins. Okay.
Concussion wins.
Well, hey, let's hope that that's not the case, because if this guy's going to be out for a while.
I picked the guy who's not John Moxley for the simple fact that, you want someone else to shine, and you don't want this to be the John show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't want this to turn into like a TNA WCW thing where all of the former wrestlers go and they win all the titles and it just becomes a screw WWE thing. I want
it's going to happen.
Yeah, I want the other guy to win.
It's going to happen. John Moxley winning that shit.
No, it's not gonna happen.
So I would like to interject, and before I go to you, Michael, and let you be the tiebreaker, I'm going to say that I also have to go with Dan and say I want Moxley to win this because I saw the promo video that they released highlighting this match, and Moxley said absolutely nothing, just nothing but body language. Yep. So I thought that was interesting how you let Joey Janela do all the talking. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And Moxley just sitting back cool, just getting ready for the fight. I think that there's a message in that. But I do agree that yes, I'm all for him building up other talent to give them opportunity to shine. But I also think that AEW is still trying to establish this guy is a big deal for now. Don't have him lose yet, but he is going to lose at some point. But I think when you're trying to establish this is the main big attraction here, I think that they're going to utilize that.
But you got to say that if there's any match for him to lose, this would be the safest one because it's like false count anywhere. This is some non-sanctioned. It's not a match. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
Well,
have
that's
to
true.
get
Anybody can run in. Anybody can cheat.
anything
Anybody
can
can
cheat.
bullshit.
Well, actually, now that you say that, yes, because he interfered in that last match with Jericho and Kenny Omega, and we already know that he has a match with Kenny Omega coming up.
Yep.
So if that was to happen, then yeah, Kenny Omega could interfere in this match, even though Kenny Omega already has a match, but Jericho doesn't have a match on this card. So
but isn't that the complaints we have about WWE though? It's like, it's like all these bullshit finishes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's never an outcome, and that's what the AEW said. They pride themselves on having finishes. And I feel like Jon Moxley is, and he could even lose the next pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I think that would but his debut actual match, he has to win it.
Yeah.
He's going to have to win it. And he could lose the next 3 matches and it wouldn't even care because he won that one. He established himself as, okay, I came in like a wrecking ball and bowled some shit over. And then, he can lose that next match on some bullshit and it won't sting as much as losing to some bullshit on his first debut. That would just be like WWE all over again. Like, just no. There needs to be a definitive finish. Moxley needs to win and move on with his beef with Kenny Omega. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, this is true. And the last point that I will add before I go to Michael is on top of what you said, also, I do feel that they could still make Joey Janela look fantastic in the match.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to necessarily win to really prove the point that he did a fantastic job, but it all depends on how they put the match together. So it is non-sanctioned, so I guess that's anything goes. So
here it is. They knocked each other out. They both knocked each other out.
Oh,
Undertaker Goldberg match.
Moxley falls on top of Joey, and they both knocked out. But they counted 1, 2, 3, and Moxley wins. That's the best route because it is like, okay, they both just knocked the hell out, but Moxley won that shit just because he fell on top of Joey. That's what I think should happen.
Hey, well, so Michael, now the pressure is on you. So who do you pick to win as the tiebreaker? Because
as a tiebreaker, I'm gonna break the tie. I'm gonna say I want Jon Moxley to win.
There we go.
I want to see him win because, like I said, this is his debut match. He hasn't had a match yet, and I want to see him shine. I want to see.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I want to see him shine. I want to come out. I want him to come unhinged. Because this is what he wanted to do in WWE, and Vince just wouldn't let him do it. They wouldn't let him be creative. I want to see him do all that.
They're gonna let him do this.
Do you remember?
Do this shit? Go ahead.
Do you remember when he had that feud with Bray Wyatt?
Yes.
When they kept doing those ladders and then all those spots and stuff.
Shit was dope.
Yeah. So I pictured that with a lot of color.
Exactly.
Someone just put tomato sauce all over them.
Bray Wyatt gonna come out. Fuck it. He gonna come out in the middle of the shit. It's Super Fun House.
It's gonna have tomato sauce. It's gonna have hot sauce. It's gonna have onions. It's gonna have the works.
Oh man.
Say you're a man.
Hot sauce and onions, boy. That's some bad breath ass, hurt ass.
Gonna add, salt to the wounds.
I can see him literally having salt. Like they pull out the barbed wire, and then Moxley pulls out some salt out of his pocket. Like I can see that.
It's gonna be violent.
Yeah.
Plus he's also said back in WWE he wanted to be like the modern day Stone Cold, and Vince wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah.
Because Vince wants big buff dudes to fight slow. That's what he wants. He doesn't want high octane shit. He wants slow fighting in TV shows. That's it.
Keep it old school.
Yeah, smoke strong.
Old school.
Yeah. Smoke strong.
Always got to be big dudes. Got to be a bunch of big dudes. Got to have a lot of oil. A lot of baby oil.
Fuck the Attitude Era. We want buff dudes with wet hair.
Yeah, a lot of grunts. Scary faces.
Scary faces. Grunts. Shitty mic skills, but can toss a dude out of a ring. That's what he wants.
It sounds like a porno.
Yeah, that's correct. You're right. Yeah, that's exactly.
Hey,
what
They're like, link me. I got you. I send you a link.
I see you, man. I see
You
you.
run back in the bathroom again.
also,
Oh.
Damn, you got a tea there, Dan.
Damn. I'll be right back.
Speedo. That's how he likes it. None of that.
Oh shit.
So now we have the final match, and this is the match that I believe Adam said he's looking forward to the most.
He's spreading rumors again.
Here we go. Here we go. We have the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson versus Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, and Laredo Kid.
Ooh.
So,
well, it depends on where they. All right, so in Mexico, I think it was last week, the Lucha Bros won the titles back that they had, that the Young Bucks had. So if they go based off of that, then they've won the match. Now this is 3-on-3, and I don't know. This can go either way. But then again, All or Nothing, the Young Bucks won that match against them when they had that. Then, of course, at the last pay-per-view. So I think it's time for the Lucha Bros to get their uppings on this one. You can't have the Bucks winning everything.
yeah, and Kenny Omega will also take a loss because Kenny Omega is in this match.
Yeah.
So I will add this very quickly, and then we can go to whoever wants to go next. If Kenny Omega does interfere in this Moxley match, I do expect Moxley to interfere in this match and take Kenny Omega out, so he can't be active in this particular match.
You're assuming people are going to be walking away from that match. I predict that match is going to be so damn brutal that there's going to be glass and all kinds of shit. These guys are
I was saying that dude is gonna be fucking Moxley. Gonna be moxed the hell out.
he's not gonna do it.
That dude's gonna be in the back getting sewn the hell up.
Yeah. He's gonna be screaming on the stretcher, Renee.
You're right.
I want to go back.
Hold on, Vince. Take me home.
Here's the thing. Now I'm wondering, is she allowed to be there?
Nope.
Nope.
Who, Vince?
No, Renee. I mean, she's
Renee. Nope.
She's going to her husband's job. I mean, she just can't be on camera though, right?
Maybe not on camera.
But they're gonna pan that crowd. And she's in there.
Yeah, but she'll be backstage. She can't be seen on camera.
I remember when did you hear that? You everybody probably heard that, the Moxley interview with Jericho when they were talking, and then you hear Jericho saying, "Oh, hi, Renee." She was there, because she didn't want to get involved in anything. So whoever's listening to hear, like, oh, she
wasn't happy when she was there either.
Yeah,
Vince was, livid.
Vince is pissed, but he's constantly pissed. So
I mean, he was living. She was tweeting about it, and so was Sasha Banks and everybody else. I mean,
it's the way the world works now. Social media is a thing. It wasn't a thing back in the day for him. Before it was the dirt sheets, and then you had to wait for a month for shit to get printed and mailed out.
Right.
Now it's like somebody just said some shit on their phone and click send, and that's it. The rest of the world hears it.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I think God, this is a hard one.
What she said.
Now, Dana, who needs to go to the bathroom now?
You might need to go right away.
I think Lucha Bros and Laredo taking it. I think they're taking it. I think they just. I mean, they're so good. I mean, I love Kenny Omega. I love the Young Bucks, but damn, they're good too. Lucha Bros is fucking dope. I mean, Laredo is dope. So it wouldn't be a bad thing if they beat Kenny and them. Like, I still think they would. Their pop won't change. The hype won't change. So I think Lucha Bros and Laredo is going to take that one for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about you, Dana?
I don't know. I'm gonna probably go with the Lucha Brothers because here's the thing. Omega's been losing. He's on like this losing streak, which is really good because he is the executive and he shouldn't win anything. So.
And that's always gonna be a tagline for all these dudes. They're like,
I think they're going to disregard that because it just doesn't make any sense. I do see Jericho popping up and making an appearance, and as a result, the Lucha Brothers and that the Ladaro kid or whatever kid, Laredo, yeah. So Rango kid will win.
Yeah,
Rango.
So let me go ahead and throw in my pick real quick. Yeah, I also say Lucha Brothers for a lot of the stuff that y'all mentioned, but I also would like to add that the next pay-per-view you have Cody and Dustin taking on the brothers,
right?
And obviously I definitely expect Nick. I do expect the Jacksons to win that match because they are the real tag team. I mean, no offense to Cody and Dustin, but I mean that's the real tag team. So I expect them to win that match. So they should lose this match. Especially if you're trying to do something with the Lucha Brothers and you want them to get a lot more attention. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I definitely think Lucha Brothers will win this.
If they're trying to be different than WWE, then everybody needs to be in the spotlight at one point. And this will be great to build wrestlers because that's the one thing WWE forgot is how to build people. And I think that doing that, letting them win, we'll just build them bigger. I mean, they're already good. Like, there's no denying. You can't say any of these fucking matches are like, I mean, none of these are like throwaway matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all people who have like, they're good workers. They got amazing skill. It's not like they're just buff or wet haired. Like they got actual skill. So, Kenny Omega taking an L on this one. There's no big.
Yeah, especially since it's not a one-on-one match,
Yeah, it's not a one-on-one. It's not like Laredo versus him because that would be a different story if it was Kenny versus Laredo by themselves. I would probably go Kenny, but this is a triple, 3-on-3, 6-man. It's like it's too many variables for Kenny not to get fucked up somewhere, So it is.
Yeah. So how about you, Michael? Who was your pick?
I'm gonna go with the Lucha Brothers because they put on a hell of a match at Double or Nothing. And
yes,
they did. They put a hell of a match on it. They shined really well, and I would like to see them, with the continue of the shine because I mean I've been watching them since Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they weren't a tag team back then on Lucha Underground, but he was very popular. Pentagon Jr. was.
Mm-hmm.
I love Pentagon Jr.
And Phoenix is a zombie. Remember, he died.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. You'll know WWE is watching if they decide to give Lucha House Party a major push after this.
First of all, they need to change that damn name. Yeah, and then don't let them come out with pinatas and dumb shit. They need to be serious.
Don't make me go get tapes, man.
That's how WWE is, though.
Don't make me go get tapes, Dan. You told me that was your favorite tag team.
That is, go find the tape because you learned.
They make people of color dance and joke and stuff. Can't be
the jucking and jiving, the step and fetch it. That's what WWE does. That's what they do.
Chicken.
That's what they do.
Right, I'm surprised they don't have a fried chicken wrestler. Black dude.
Remember Slick? What was Slick Rick or something? When he had the whole rap with the fried chicken and he was in the restaurant.
Like, I got that fried chicken and power bombs. Let's go. Like, I just hope that's not what's planned. Because that's terrible.
That's why I'm glad that they haven't done it with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was a beast when he was in TNA. He was known as
remember TNA was killing shit.
Yeah,
man.
so they bring him in and they don't seem to know what to do with him. Dana don't like him, and I'm always praising him.
I felt like he should have beefed with Brock Lesnar. Like that was a missed opportunity. I mean, they both like UFC dudes. Like they both had real fighting. Like it was just a natural thing for him to come in and like shut Brock down. You know how much that would have pushed Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley has a better record. Never tested positive for any kind of steroid.
Never tested positive. Big buff ass dude like Vince likes him, but he's black. Unfortunately, he's the wrong color.
There's no personality. He's boring.
Oh yeah, Truth Bombs. Remember, R-Truth came out in TNA. Remember when he was real the Truth, and he was dropping the truth bombs about racism in WWE, and then he came back asking for Jimmy.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's terrible. Little Jimmy, dude, he might as well just be on like hood.com. Like literally they could have just like just have him come out and just like hood.com. He's like, for sure. Like just have him come out with the bullshit, and he'd have sold it. Vince would have pushed it.
This is why I'm so pissed with the whole Street Profits thing. They're a good team, but they're doing the same shit. They're coming out dancing and singing.
I like the Street Profits.
Remember Crime Time?
Wait a second, Adam. That is your NXT tag team champions you're talking about there.
Yeah. They don't need all that other stuff. They're good in the ring. They should be able to come in and be better. There's no reason to do all that other shit.
So who was going to take it from them? The Forgotten Sons? Yes. The Forgotten Sons?
Probably.
The Viking Experience.
No.
You're gonna push them back in NXT.
Back on the main roster.
Whoever loses is probably going to get called up, and that'll be a mistake. Because look what happened. Viking Raiders. What happened with Sanity? Look what happened with freaking Authors of Pain. Everybody that gets called up.
Authors of Pain. Like God, those dudes are amazing. Like y'all just treated them like shit.
Teams, and they just like poof. It's like they went into the Twilight Zone. They're like, yeah, you could great over there. Oh, where'd they go?
It's like you all were saying. I mean, you got to think. I mean, when they had Bobby Lashley the first time in WWE when he first appeared, they didn't do shit with him. That's why he went to TNA.
Yeah, because it was like, why aren't you pushing this dude? Like, it's not like he sucked. Like Bobby Lashley is really good.
He said it was a race thing the first time he left. He said it was because of Michael Hayes. Now Michael Hayes is still there, still working.
Yeah. Hayes was he's a man.
I mean, he did leave WWE to go pursue a UFC career, but that didn't turn out so well.
He went to TNA his own though. He wasn't like CM Punk. When CM Punk went UFC, like he actually won his matches. He just didn't win the big one. But that was why I felt that beef with him and Brock Lesnar would have been perfect, man. He comes back, Brock Lesnar's champion. He's like, "Fuck you, Brock Lesnar." You know what I'm saying? And like teaches Brock Lesnar a lesson, like you can't be beaten. And that would have been so dope. But instead, he said, "No,
bring him in strong." You know,
right? Nope, we want you to fight Rey Mysterio and Leo Rush is your dude.
They had him doing Sami Zayn shit, and he had to do an obstacle course where he was.
Remember that shit?
Remember the Three Sisters?
Yes,
then with the sisters thing, and it's just.
That was some racist shit. That was some racist shit.
That was some racist, dumb shit, and I hated it for him. That's why with Kofi Kingston.
I remember you texting me like that. You're like, "This is some crazy shit."
Remember that? I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "What?"
Well, you do have to give WWE credit on one thing. At least when they mess up wrestlers' careers, they are very consistent. Because Braun Strowman, another guy who they could have did things with, and now he is the one that's feuding with Bobby Lashley. So yes,
he's a jobber. I hate to say it, Braun Strowman's a jobber.
But that's so backwards. Like, remember when he was going to fight Brock Lesnar, and then all of a sudden they were just like, "Nah."
Yeah.
like he had earned his shot. And they just literally were like, "No, we're not gonna do it. We're gonna have him go against fucking Seth Rollins."
That was all Vince.
Even in Saudi Arabia, when they did have it, he just squashed Braun. Remember when the Brock? He just threw him out of the ring.
Yeah.
Out of the ring like he was nothing, but you're garbage.
Yeah, so I was just like, what is happening, man? Like I don't know, dude. That's scary.
That's another. That's one for sure. I could see AEW picking up if he becomes a free agent.
So
Braun Strowman. Yeah. So 100%.
What?
So
I asked Danny this. What the hell are they doing with Bray Wyatt?
Dude, they missed their shot, man. At Money in the Bank, right? Instead of Brock Lesnar coming out, which was the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in my life. They had all this pop for Bray. He should have been the one to come out. Like, could you imagine Bray comes out? Everybody's like, oh shit, he's debuting right now. Debut. He comes in, he does this new finisher on one of the guys on climbing the ladder. He goes up and he's like Mr. Money in the Bank. And then they can write his funhouse, put it in a shrine and kind of worship this Money in the Bank, and that could be him looming over the two champions. Like I didn't even understand this. And instead they said, no, what we're gonna do is have Brock Lesnar come out with a fucking Money in the Bank boombox and like that was so stupid, man. Like what?
I like it.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was gold. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah, I will say it was definitely unexpected. The reaction I saw after they saw it, they were like, "What the hell is this?"
It was cringy, but it was comedy gold, and plus they were memeing the fuck out of it.
They did the hell out of it.
And the funniest thing about all of this stuff is, again, the inconsistency. Once that happened, right? You talk about Stephanie McMahon, or we're outraged about what happened, what Brock Lesnar did. You never ever address that storyline. That storyline is completely gone now. So yeah, it's very funny. Very funny.
It's crazy, and it's like I just felt like that was the wrong move. Like Brock Lesnar can fight for the belt at any point in time. He doesn't really need the Money in the Bank. Like that just took it away from all the other people that's there every week and gave it to one show a decade, Brock Lesnar. Like I didn't understand that. I just didn't understand it.
I agree. So I did want to ask one final question. Then I don't know if there's anything else y'all want to bring up, but I have to ask this question because I'm just curious what the reaction was. This isn't something that Dana or Adam knows that I was going to ask, but I have to ask this question.
Oh shit! I am wearing pants. You don't believe me this time? Yo, I'll just stand. Oh
no!
Shit, I'm always asking the same question.
Oh no! So here's the question.
Oh, a different one.
What was, for those of you that I'm pretty sure everyone here saw SmackDown? What was your reaction when you saw Finn Balor, who is your next opponent for the IC title, and then here comes Shinsuke Nakamura? Are you actually looking forward to this? Do you have faith that this is something that can get Shinsuke involved, or you think it's just going to be a waste of time?
It's going to be it's going to be a shit show.
Just to remind people that he's still employed.
Damn, Dana.
I still work here. That's it.
Hey, you know what? He did get a pop though. Like when he came out, it was like a small pop. Everybody was kind of like, "Oh, that's right. He is fucking in WWE."
That's all the people that remember when they had that feud over in Japan. Those are the people that were popping like, "Oh, we're gonna get some of that here."
You're gonna get some of that shit. No, you're not.
I liked him in NXT, but yeah, since he's came in the main roster, he's just corny.
You're gonna get the 15-minute entrances. You're gonna get 5 minutes of wrestling, and then a shit finish because somebody's gonna interfere.
And that's
exactly what's gonna happen, man.
And that's something else that needs to change with the main roster. No, not the finisher, just the whole idea that you have to do a set amount of moves. This is it. This is what we want you to do. Hit these spots and then call it a night. Because in NXT, they have the freedom to do their whole move set. And that's what everybody loved. They're like, oh, you never knew what's going to happen. They're going to let it all out. But then after a while, it's the same shit you see for all the wrestlers on the main roster. And Why is that? It's because that's what they're told to do. It's like they've been processed and packaged. This is it. This is your little character. He does these moves and that's it. And then just push him along. He's like, I could do all this other shit. Yeah, we don't need that. Keep going. Like it was a big deal. Like I remember after Kevin Owens popped up on the main roster, all these videos, people started making all these little montage videos. They're like, yo, look what he did over here, and look what these crazy moves and stuff. And
you remember the move that Kevin Owens did when he versed John Cena?
Dude.
That's so sick. Yeah,
my fucking jaw dropped when he took John Cena to the top rope.
Yeah,
and then he did that like flip in the air. I was like, yo, big man got hops.
And
Vince hates Kevin Owens though.
That's it's true. I mean, it's because he's big.
But that was all John Cena too, and John Cena. Because remember, John Cena busted out some new moves in that one too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? John Cena towards the end there, I honestly became a fan because he became more than 5 moves. He expanded to like 10. I was like, what? Leg drops and fucking hurricane drivers, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay,
he's better than the six move of doom.
Yeah, he's like the 10 move of doom now.
I mean, and then
that's actually his finisher's called. It's six move of doom.
Shit, well, we got Roman Reigns with 2.5 moves. Superman punch, match is over.
And what's Jericho's new move called? The spinning elbow fist? It was called something. He called it something else.
Man, but if they can get rid of that, so that way it just adds more creativity for them, and then it gives more surprises. Fine.
I bet you Roman Reigns is cold if he ain't locked down. Like I bet you Roman Reigns would actually be good if they said, "Look, we're going to open up the move sets. You can expand your roster, your move set roster. You can add moves. You can add another finisher." I think Roman Reigns could be dope if they got him, molded him. They molded him, but he's like trash right now. But
that's the shit, and that's what I'm saying. So if they can break that out for this Finn Balor Shinsuke match, then it could be great. It could be amazing.
But I doubt it. I think they're gonna go same WWE shit. They might as well run a commercial through the match. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly,
I feel like the only person that they give free reign to do all that stuff right now is Ricochet. We're seeing Ricochet out everything, all kinds of shit. You can hear the crowd react sometimes. Whoa. When he did that little run up on him during the match, it was like, whoa.
It's like, oh God, it's like more moves.
Yeah, what is he doing?
Chris Jericho's move is called the Judas Effect.
So
Vince, man. We talked about this on another podcast. I think the only way shit will change is Vince got to pass, man. Like, honestly, and it's sad to say, man. And I know it sounds so fucking harsh, but like, that's what it is, man. He's not giving up on anything. And we talked about Eric Bischoff and them running shit. You know what? They're figureheads. They're like the fucking royal family and shit. Like, they're just figureheads who don't make decisions, and they're basically there to kind of say, hey, look, our brand is different now. We got Paul Heyman and fucking Eric Bischoff. That means nothing. If it still has to go through Vince is going to constantly make these decisions. That's why Nakamura's fighting fucking Finn Balor for the 30,000th time for that same belt. It's just, can we get something else popping, please? Anything else outside of this.
How crazy would it be? I mean, it's nuts. But if they did it, it would be nuts. It'd be beyond nuts. I just can't imagine having, but I wish it did. Paul Heyman, Bischoff to take over, but at least for Paul Heyman Raw, he changed everything up to the point that some people come out with a completely different gimmick. Everything is different. You're like, oh, wait, that's so-and-so, and now he's doing this. Everything just changed. Storylines, everything that we knew before gets scrapped. New entrance, new gear, new music. That's what I'm saying. It's like if they had a different moveset, I always wanted to do this. Like, there's power, pop, then that's your move. Then you do it. If they did that, sort of like a reboot. if they just do a reboot, it's like, all right, you know what, scrap everything. I think they're at that point where they need that because right now people are so bored and tired of the same old. So when they see a certain wrestler come out, they already know what to expect. Got to throw that all out. Got to throw it all out.
You got to throw it all out. You got to start over. They claimed they did that with Stomping Ground. They said that was a reset, but I'm like, where was the reset at?
I agree with what you're kind of saying, but it all still goes back to Vince.
Yeah.
Vince needs to step down, and like I said, I'm still cool with Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman being in their roles what they are, and I'd rather see Triple H take the helm, and if anything goes down,
that shit happened.
If anything goes down, that they go to Triple H and say, look, this is what we got, this is what we came up with.
You know what that means? That means that the crowd was right. And Vince don't want to let nobody know that they were right. You know what I'm saying? So if they let Triple H do that, he takes over. Shit's gonna be good as hell. And then they're gonna be like, wait a minute. The viewers, they were right.
They openly said, everyone said, it's like Vince doesn't watch NXT.
Right.
He doesn't even watch.
And that's a damn shame.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on in NXT at all. But I mean, if you look at NXT and NXT UK, Triple H created both of them.
Yeah.
They're good shit.
Yeah.
They're good brands. They're better than fucking Raw and SmackDown. Like,
they are thriving. I mean, I remember when I was telling Danny when I started watching NXT, like when it's just kind of starting out. It's like, Danny, you gotta watch this shit, man. I said this shit is better than Raw and SmackDown. Like, no way, Mike, no way.
He convinced me to watch a pay-per-view. I watched the pay-per-view and I was like,
I said, you sit down and watch the pay-per-view with me. And I said, you check this out. He's like, dude, I'm fucking blown away. I said, now you watch, Sunday's pay-per-view with WWE.
Remember, and we watched Raw. Oh no, what pay-per-view was that? That was TLC? I think that was and I was like, where's the hardcore shit? Like, this is TLC, and there's literally only 1-2 matches with hardcore rules. Like,
I had a stepladder.
And after both of them, I was like, no, you tell me, God's honest truth, which one's the better program? He was like, hands down, Mike. NXT put on a fucking show.
I was like, NXT had wrestling. TLC had bullshit. They even had the show garbage.
Triple H, that's what he was.
2 rings.
Yeah, that shit was fucking dope. The 2 rings.
It's crazy.
And that's the shit. It's like, here it is. This is your fix. It's on your network. Go watch it.
Right.
That's the only reason.
You already have the fix.
Exactly. Take that formula, apply it to these 2 shows, and there you go. Problem solved.
Boom. You don't need Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman, even though I'm a huge fan of Paul Heyman, but you don't need them. You can do that shit.
It's the only reason I keep the WWE network. I ain't lying. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's it. And what made it good, and there's also the fact that Triple H started instead of just trying to develop new talent, he went out there and started picking up these great indie guys.
Mm-hmm.
Once he did that, it was like, yo, shit, we're getting Adam Cole, we're getting, all these.
Aleister Black,
Tommy.
Aleister Black in the closet.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
hold on. Who was Aleister Black?
Exactly, he's in the closet.
Yeah,
the
main roster. I haven't seen him. The tag team with Ricochet over and the Aleister Black.
I mean, but they were a dope ass tag team too. Like, Vince squandered that whole fucking opportunity. I couldn't believe it. It was just like a spiral.
What was the point? What was
the point?
Well, hey, once again, what I said earlier about the consistency, that was very consistent because you have also messed up the Viking Raiders. Oh, I'm sorry, the War Raiders.
Viking Experience.
Yeah, there it is. The Viking Experience. Yeah, because they had that match at TakeOver, which I was actually at. That was an awesome tag match between those 2 teams, and even you can see with the storytelling in that match how they had respect after the match. Then all of a sudden they get moved to the main roster, and it's like, oh, we're just going to beat up everybody.
It was a mess. They didn't know what the hell to do with them. They disappeared for a while.
Yeah,
disappeared. terrible renaming, terrible rebranding, terrible booking, terrible looks, terrible music. Like,
they got the music. You can't go that far. They do.
Okay, well, I'll give you that, but I was just throwing that in there. But I mean, you can say it. You know what I'm saying? You can say it about it because that's what it is.
I mean, because you still hear the fans when they lay the music down, the original music they have. You still hear the fans go, war, because they want to call them the War Raiders.
Dude, when they came out, when they first did the Viking Experience, listen, when they first did the Viking Experience, dude, people were like, it sounds like a ride at Six Flags. I was like, that is fucking terrible. That's
and that
terrible.
They said that Vince came up with that same day. That
fucking terrible.
No, I don't like this name. Well, we got merchandise and everything already made. They've been selling. I don't give a shit.
Right.
We're calling you the Viking Experience.
It's like,
I think they did it for like a week, and they changed their name to the Viking Raiders, or like
the Viking Raiders.
He said
now their special move is called the Viking Experience.
He said he didn't want Raiders because of the NFL team,
right,
and all that shit. And I'm like, really?
I told him they should just call them the Ricky Bads or the Strong Fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go super generic pro wrestling name. They're the Ricky Bads.
Oh, speaking of names, he changed their names too. Remember that? He changed their names. They're not Rowan and
yeah.
Well,
they only changed the one. The one it was still called Rowan, and the other one's called Ivar. But it used to be called, but yeah, they used to be called Eric and Rowan.
Yeah, fucking dumb.
Now this
dude, that's fucking stupid, dude.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that? You didn't know that? The bigger dude is
I did not know that, for real.
Yeah, the bigger dude, kind of, just chunky like me. He's called Ivar.
What?
What? Yeah,
they watch the show Vikings, dude.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's what it was. They tune into HBO. They watch Vikings. They said, you know what? We need our own Ragnar. You know, we need our own Lothbrok. You know, like we need.
They used to be called Eric and Rowan, but now since they went to the main roster, they changed his name to Ivar, the bigger dude.
Yeah.
Which one is married? Which one is married to the chick?
Ivar's the one's married to the chick, Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan.
Yeah, Sarah Logan. Yeah,
who always dressed like she was part of the crew that just wasn't with them.
Well, he's the one's actually been training her too. He's the one's been training her in the Viking.
See, that missed opportunity right there. She could have been coming out with them triple. You know, you got because they had their women fight in Viking.
Well, they separated them all. Ruby's not with them, and what's her name's not with them no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ruby is injured, recovering.
Yeah, Ruby's injured, and like you went back to Alistair Black. Rumors circling around that he's going to be either facing Cesaro, or they're actually going to put him in with the first one that knocked at the door. It's supposed to be Bray Wyatt.
So they're not going to turn him heel then.
One of those are good, actually.
Well, you saw the puppets were popping up all over the place.
Yeah, right. I saw that.
The behind the scenes, they're like peeking and stuff like in weird segments.
So Extreme Rules then, right? Extreme Rules. That's when Wyatt's going to appear then. Or is
Extreme Rules? So there's they've already named 3 matches that barely have any extreme in them.
Dude, the Extreme Rules is a lie, dude. Like, I should sue, man. Like, honestly, it's like, where's the Extreme Rules at, though?
Yeah. Nothing extreme about this shit.
It's like rope breaks on Extreme Rules, really? Oh,
well, we definitely are going to talk about that in the next show. The pay-per-view for that.
Oh, that pay-per-view is gonna be a 10 out of 10 as well.
Oh yeah. You have the.
I gotta do it for you, Big Mike. I gotta do it for you, bro. No.
Get the network.
Get the network where you can be upset and pissed.
Do you notice they stopped calling that shit? Remember they used to always advertise the $9.99? They just scrapped that shit.
Yeah.
They didn't even bother.
That's because they're going to bring the tier package out there. They scrapped that whole $9.99.
I used to love when Triple H comes out and he's like, I want to talk about a bunch of bullshit, but for $9.99. Like I used to love when he used to come out to that. I thought that was funny, man.
I love that
sign saying $9.99 for the network.
JBL was doing it for a while. You can get this for. And he throws the sign up $9.99.
Straight to the side of it. I used to love that. I was like, that was actually some good promo because it was like they were making fun of themselves with the promotion, but in itself was a promotion, which I thought was kind of brilliant. It was funny as hell.
Is JR going to be one of the ring announcers tomorrow?
He's part of that. He's part of the.
I know he's part. I thought he was part of it.
That was so good. That was so good. Him calling ring matches. He goofed up a little bit, but I mean, it was still
Well, he's still trying to get everybody. He's still trying to learn everybody.
I mean, it was still good to hear him on commentary again.
Thank God, Michael Cole fucking makes me want to dig my ears out.
Michael Cole's cringy as fuck to me, and Corey Graves doesn't do much for me either. And same with Renee Young.
Corey Graves is the Me Too movement too. Like he goes far, man.
Me Too movement.
For real, man. That dude, he's like #Me Too. Like honestly, that dude he goes far, man. The way he be describing the women wrestlers, man, it's like I thought I was a fucking prick. I'm like, damn, man.
I mean, he's supposed to be the color commentator, like what Jerry King Lawler was.
You want a color commentator? Put somebody black on there, please. Uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just
that dude quit. Remember they had the what's his name? Damn, I forgot his name.
Saxton?
Saxton quit. He went to Hollywood. He wanted to be an actor.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That worked out well for him.
Yeah,
whoa.
She woke up. What up?
Wow, really? Saxton. Okay.
Yeah, Saxton gone.
Yeah,
Byron.
That dude.
Yeah.
Byron Sexton.
No growth. So
Corey Graves though he would come a little close though to some bullshit though when he was talking to Byron. It's like, man, I don't know if that's racist or just jerk vision. Like I just.
But that's the thing. It makes you wonder who is Vince feeding into. Is it still Michael Cole or is it Graves?
Both.
He's not doing it to what's her
name?
Well,
Adam, it definitely cannot be debated if it is Michael Cole. Every time I hear Michael Cole say, "It's the big dog," I say, yeah, that's Vince yelling into the prompter to tell him, oh, yeah, say that. We need to emphasize.
Say it's the big dog or you're fired.
No. It's better yet, the Reg. It's boss time! It's boss time!
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yep.
Oh God, it's boss time.
You'll hear that again.
You ever heard him say that?
I know, but it just sounds like a super move in Street Fighter and shit. Like
it sounds like a
super stupid.
Only one badass announcer in all of pro wrestling, in the whole land of pro wrestling, and that's Moro.
Yes.
Oh shit, man! Hold on, let me touch my age.
Like Moro. That's the guy.
Moro's alright.
Go bend the knee tomorrow. Because that dude, he's just amazing on the mic.
Yes, I would like to see him. Yeah, he's fucking amazing. I think I even told Danny this a while back. I would love to see Morrow pulled up to the main roster. Put fucking
did not.
Don't do it. Michael Cole down in NXT and let him get some mic skills.
No, leave him in NXT so he can still have a career.
He starts hearing all the chatter with Vince, he's gonna rage quit and just
it's gonna be terrible. And all of a sudden, well, maybe he does, so he can go to AEW and help out.
He still does MMA fights. He still calls MMA.
Yeah, he still calls them.
Last week, and I'm like, Joe, Moro's on this shit. So
Moro's great though. That's the thing.
He's amazing.
He's fucking dope, dude.
Shit, he became a champ. Remember, Mama Mia?
Yeah. But I like how he calls the matches. He's very smooth. He doesn't like cringy fucking comments like Michael Cole does. Like he doesn't do any of that shit. Yeah, the big dog. He's not gonna do that shit. I know he's not. He's gonna be like Roman, like he's just gonna call it. He's not gonna be like the big dog bullshit.
Yeah. Stuff too. That's the thing. He knows.
Yeah, he knows all his moves. Tope suicida. He's gonna say that shit one time.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Oh, I think I saw Adam dozing off over there, so we better get ready. Yeah. I saw that. We gotta get ready to end the show, but yes, I definitely want to thank Dan and Michael for joining us.
Hey, I had a blast. Anytime you want us on, let us know.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, I was 100% serious about doing a podcast about Extreme Rules. So we definitely
all right.
Talk about
the next one. That's not the next one, is it?
Oh yeah, it is. It's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Get your coffee there, Adam.
I'm ready to do motherfucking. I'll come back and talk about AEW too, because that's just gonna be.
Well, yeah, because isn't AEW around the same time as Extreme Rules, or it's not that far off?
It's one after.
Just one after the following weekend, right?
It's because it's in August. The next
one. No, but they have one. They have one in July though. The Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah.
And Fyter Fest is this weekend, right?
Yeah. Fyter Fest is tomorrow, but Fight for the Fallen is July 13th. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Chicago one.
No, that's the one in Jacksonville.
I can't keep track.
That's the one that's for charity. That's the charity one.
Oh, that's the charity one. Ah, okay.
It's the same time Evolve is coming on.
Yeah, and then I think the day after that is Extreme Rules.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot going on.
That's a lot. I gotta get my complainer list out. I'm ready to complain about it.
And next month is also NXT UK Takeover.
Okay, NXT Takeover.
4 or 3 pay-per-views at the same time coming on.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Uh-oh.
Damn, there's a lot of wrestling.
That's right. A lot of wrestling.
Y'all wanted competition. There you go.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
So when the TV show launches for AEW, are they still going to be doing these monthly pay-per-views?
They said they were. They said it doesn't affect that. They said the pay-per-views are going to be pay-per-views. They're going to push on.
I'll buy them. I mean, as long as they gave
support it.
As long as they gave me entertaining what I saw when I bought Double or Nothing, I'll support it. Me and Brandon will go half. That's what I did. Me and my buddy Brandon went half on the pay-per-view.
That's a good idea.
My wife watched it with me because she's a huge fan of WWE, and we watched it, and my wife was like, "Wow, AEW is like the shit." I was like, "I know." Yeah, like honestly, like, cause she was real reluctant, cause she like huge WWE fan, and she was like blown away by the last pay-per-view with AEW. So she was just like, you know what? Fuck WWE. She was like, this shit is dope. I was like, I know. I'm trying to tell you. She argued with me how she loves Roman Reigns and all that. I'm like, Roman Reigns is fine. Yeah, my wife, she think he's fine. That's all it is. I'm like, I asked her, I said, tell me his top 5 moves. She was like, he punches somebody. I'm like, okay.
He spins around.
His hair is wet.
With his hands. He does the fisting motion.
Hey, maybe it's the code to, between Ricochet and him. That's the code. Ricochet, come on. Bring it on.
Think about it. If people out here we're goofing, think of who's goofing on him in the back. Holy shit.
They like Ricochet, when you put your hand up, do you do the same thing when you film yourself? When you
is the one and only a sniffer? Like, is that
why you what you call him? Ricochet. Yo, Ricochet. What's up, man?
There's gonna be somebody in the back. Somebody back. If this was the old era with JBL, he would be ripping that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, JBL be doing it. He'd be like, yeah, well, while he's not touching himself, he's winning championships. Like, he's
definitely winning.
You're gonna go celebrate, so I guess you're going to the bathroom.
time. Come
Just
on.
about to celebrate.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh shit!
We'll be out here. We'll see you in a few minutes.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah, Mandy Rose, can you go get me a towel?
Yeah. Just everybody celebrate. Everybody remember, just fist bumps with this dude because you know.
So much fisting.
Oh shit! Okay.
I bet you he's doing that shit there, Adam. After he did it, he's like, "Here, smell my finger."
Oh god.
Oh God! I make you chuck when it did.
I'm about to chuck, man.
Oh.
I'm about to chuck, man. Like just chuck. What if he like y'all win a match and he grabs you behind your neck to like do that, and you're like, he touched me with that hand, but you can't do shit because you're in front of 60,000 people in the middle of the ring, so you just gotta do it.
Your like wipes on your nose, gives you the.
Oh.
And then he whispers in your ear, "This is why they call me the Booty Bandit."
This is why they call me the Booty Bandit.
Wow.
I can show you how I really can fly. It's like, no!
How scared would it be if they zoomed in on his hand and you see a little smiley face on one?
Well.
Little eye, little mouth.
What's up?
This one sniff will kill you. Let me tell you. Only takes one sniff.
They call me Mr. Scratchy.
He got a tattoo. He named both of his hands. One Palmelina, the other one is Handela. And these are my two babes. It's like, Ricochet, you're weird as shit, bro.
I hope we don't see any more. And
oh no! Ricochet will be totally all right. He is the one and only. The one and only.
Dan didn't believe me after you guys told me that, or it was actually after Dana told me that last week, and I told Dan. He's like, "No way, Mike." I
said, "Dude, that's TMZ.Z. That's not real news."
He's like, "Link me." He's like, "Yo."
Sent the link. I was like, "Wow, Ricochet is jagging out here." You know what I'm saying?
He jagging.
This dude is jagging off, man.
He's like, "Do I have a girl?" I was like, "Yeah, he's got a girl." He's, "What's he doing, Mike?" I was like, "I don't know."
I just don't get. It's the filming that throws me off.
That's what it is, man. It's like private matter.
When you film that means you're sending it to somebody. So whoever you sent it to the world.
The girlfriend. The girlfriend.
It's the current girlfriend that did that?
No, that's what I'm asking. Isn't it the current girlfriend that requested the video? I want you to record this and send this to me.
He sent the video to Awesome Kong and she wasn't hearing it. She was like, "No, what the fuck is this?" And
It could be you.
He put it on meat.com and shit. Like, I don't know what the hell he did.
That was a very specific address that you said.
Meat, tacomeat.com.
I just had a taco.
Uh-oh.
I ate a taco. My finger's getting itchy.
Wow.
Like, do you feel it above or below?
Like, you ever seen that?
You pull out that finger with the happy face drawn on it.
The video the monkey. It was like someone's filming at the zoo. The monkey like sniffs his finger from his ass and he falls off the tree. Like that happened after the video.
Oh,
You look at the camera.
It just blows my mind, man.
oh man.
And when I saw that and read that shit, the only thing I could think of was, of that movie that has what's his name in it?
Two.
Stifler. In
American Pie?
no, the guy from American Pie, but he was also in that Road Trip. I remember he did that shit in the Road Trip.
Oh yeah, he did. He let
the nurse, put her finger in his butthole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You want one finger or two? Ricochet wants to know.
But that smelled like burnt Snapple.
Oh.
But the Chuck. Edit. We need to edit.
Dana, what was the year on that? Maybe it was just old.
Wait, what? Was it old?
Was it old?
No, it was recent.
See?
Yeah, this is recent, man. This is like this year.
He was in both. He was doing both ends.
Okay, you know what? It's okay. Get freaky, kinky, whatever we say.
Freaky dinky. I was like, get freaky dinky. Whatever you want.
What I'm saying, it's just if you're filming it, you're sending it, then someone just violated your trust.
Right? They did. They said, "Fuck you."
And if they have that one, who knows what else they have?
That was his warm-up match before he had to go out to the ring.
See, that's the other shit, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
No.
It's really big on the door.
No, don't be like that.
Oh, that would be 10 times.
Ready to go, Ricochet? Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Like, yo, we got a match soon. I'll be there in a second. Damn, really?
it's like, why do I hear macaroni and cheese being stirred? Adam up.
He's throwing the finger. That's
like this tastes like copper.
so he gives the wrestling the dirty Sanchez and just wipes it underneath his nose.
That's his new super move, the rusty trombone.
No, he goes the dirty Sanchez. Dirty Sanchez.
Oh, man.
That's his new gimmick too. He's like the dictator, and he comes out and he does the rusty trombone, and then he finishes with the dirty Sanchez.
It finishes the prostate exam. I'm gonna need
It's
to go
time for the prostinator. It's time for the prostinator.
But remember when Paige stuff came out? She was in the bathroom with like.
What Xavier Woods in that though too?
Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah, Xavier Woods and Matt Maddox, right? Or what's his name? Brad Maddox?
Yeah.
I remember they was filming each other, fucking shit out of Paige.
Yeah, Brad Maddox. Yeah.
And you remember the Usos brought that shit up on TV.
They did. They did. They did that dead wrong for that.
Which makes me wonder if somebody's gonna crack this joke with Ricochet.
Oh, I hope so. I hope the Usos come out with just like KY jelly, like, yo, we here to help you.
Well, hey.
It could be something as simple as he walks out of the bathroom and it's somebody walk by like, what were you doing?
Yeah, hey.
Oh snap!
Well, hey, if anyone is gonna crack that joke, maybe it'll be the club and AJ Styles when AJ turns heel.
There you go.
Eventually.
I don't know if AJ has that type of sense of humor.
I don't think AJ wants to hear with that sense of humor.
It would have to be right.
I'm thinking it'd be Usos or it could be R-Truth.
Nah, the New Day.
Our Truth could come up and be like, yo, man, what the hell? New Day, yeah, New Day come up and be like, Or have Xavier Woods come up and be like, "Yo, don't make the same mistake I did," like or something like that.
Xavier Woods come up with him like because the new doing, which like some bootios.
He just walk on the Ricochet and be like, "Have you seen Paige?" Like, it'd be fucked up. Like that'd be great though. I support it 100%. I would support it 100%.
And they didn't get suspended or anything for that, which is cool because there was no reason. It was just, they just were having fun.
Having fun. That's right.
That sounds like support.
It was private and they got posted, but
they were having fun. That's right.
I mean, it's the same way
they were doing a mixed tag match, so
that's what
it's like every time now I just can't picture Ricochet regular. Now.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's exactly what I said last week because I said, now when I look at the entrance and it starts from the hand and pans down, it's very disturbing now to look at that and be like, okay. Now I don't know.
It's like, okay, I see why you value the hand. Okay. All right. All right. You got the Mr. Happy hand and shit. I see it.
Yo.
Yeah. Well, yes. That's I think
it's all Dave's fault though too. She's the one who brought us up to this.
She did. She put us on this.
That was like the first
time.
It was the first topic was on your list last week. You're like, yo, she's like, did you
ever? No. Well, hey, we definitely had to address that because I heard about that. I heard about that also prior to the show. I said, I gotta figure out what this is about. So
Richard was eager. He was like sending me messages. He was like number one trending topic. We must talk now. Well, now what was he doing with the finger? And how many fingers were it?
It was
what motion was it?
Oh no!
When he pulled it out, it said.
Yeah, like a little hat on, like a little beanie.
He pulled it up, and it was his finger was cosplaying as Batman and shit. He got a little cape. I am Finger Man, and he's like talking to him and shit.
That could be
savage.
This is my time.
Savage.
I give you my version of Pinky and the Brain.
Wow. The Brain.
Ricochet coming to Pornhub and Spank Bang.
Well, it's time to wrap up. So, final shout outs. Adam, do you have any final shout outs that you want to give?
Just shout out to everybody that watches and downloads and listens later and does that whole thing. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Dan and Mike, Dana, and shout out to Tony. He's a weird guy. Fuck Tony. Shout out. Shit. Everybody. We're all gonna have a good week, and hopefully tomorrow we'll see a good show, and everybody will make it out alive.
Yes, absolutely. How about you, Dana? Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout outs to everyone who's listening, and yeah.
There you go. That's good. How about you? How about you, Dan the man?
Shouts out to the Koalition. Shouts out to chat. Shouts out to the panelists here. And I'm shameless plug. You can catch us every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, EST, on YouTube, the platform live. So just search that in YouTube. Great show. Love it. Fuck it. Bring me back, please.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And how about you, Michael? Any shout outs you want to give?
Shouts to the Coalition, the Thrower Down, Great, amazing shows. Make sure you check out the platform
For sure.
live. Yeah, make sure you check out the platform live Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And thank you guys. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, cool.
I will say I definitely do plan to check out the you guys show tomorrow. Although I have no idea how you guys will be awake because it's almost 3 a.m. right now here on the East Coast. So
yeah. Well, it show ain't till 1 o'clock, so I can kind of sleep in.
No, I'll call you.
You guys are like the West Coast, right?
No, we're East Coast. Meaning.
Yeah, we're East Coast. I live in Indiana, so we're on East EST.
That's like East Coast. That's like no coast.
It's like no coast. It's like
no coast. Oh,
damn! Hold on! Don't ricochet this. You know what I'm saying?
We're in the desert.
Damn! You act like we live in Bolivia. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, I would like to give a shout out to everybody that listened to the show, all of the panelists on the show. Thank you, Adam, Dana, Dan the Man, and Michael. And
thank you for having us.
Oh yeah, of course. And we'll be back next week or the week thereafter. I gotta look at the schedule. But yes, we shall be back.
What's up?
We got to sleep till next week so we can stay up this late again.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.